good morning. Welcome into the Couch Potato Sports Show. It is me, Sonny Clark, the hardest working man in sports radio, as we are here on our Sunday morning tradition that continues on here in our 14th year as we get set to go into year number 15 at the end of this NFL season. As we get set, it is week number 7. Just have to say, I'm still on top of the Pick'em League. That's right, finally. It looks like I'm somewhat consistent. At least for the last 2 years, I have not been, but I have been consistent. So that's the big part of it. And hey, just in case you didn't know, we have the man himself, the man, the myth, the undeniable man who is a legend in his own mind. Go ahead and bring him on in. Yeah, this guy right here. Oh, good Lord. Now, there's nothing wrong with this at all. The Podfather makes an appearance. How you doing? Good to see you. You just can't wait till Bryce gets in, can you? I mean, your new best buddy.
Is he coming in today? I'm excited.
He's supposed to. Now, whether or not he will.
First of all, Bryce gets who the Podfather is, sir. Okay. Now I've worked with you for how long?
About 3 years. Yeah.
Okay, so it's 3 years too long. So I mean, clearly,
definitely,
you still don't get who I am, which really pisses me off because I've had to carry your weight for the longest time. You're a heavy fucker to carry.
That's right.
By the way, I was going to ask you because I'm in the process of building the Offshoots Network on YouTube.
Yeah,
I know you have your own YouTube page. Would you like it if I threw your show on my deal as well?
You can, however you do it. As far as that, if you want to do that, I can do that. Not a problem.
I can always take this show and then just add that to my deal and let it air on your thing, first. Then I can go back and do that on my own deal whenever I'm ready.
Or if you send me the thing, it'll load directly over there as soon as I put it on. Okay, whatever that's called. I kind of know how to do it, but it's me. So you gotta realize who this is. I'm an idiot half the time. So, but it's it's kind of that thing. So,
okay, I'll get with you on that.
Send that over.
Because I now carry these Second Row podcasts on there after the fact that Joey records on his own deal. Because his YouTube channel only had like 3 subscribers. I have like 56. I know you got more than I do. So clearly,
I don't, but it's okay. Because I don't work very hard at that. I know I got to do better at it, but I'm not.
I'm trying to put as much content as I possibly can to make it a one-stop shop for a lot of people. So
sure.
So football, whether it's the Podfather stuff, or if it's movies, or or our own Offshoots TV show we do. I'm always trying to just add extra content to it as best I can to make it one-stop shop for a lot of people. So
we can do that. Well, Look who happens to be in the green room now. See, we haven't had you on the show. I normally have your intro, but I needed space, and you're not in all of the time. So, but you do. Did you see this? Did you see how? Did you see that? Here, make it bigger to right there. Yeah.
Serious? Come on now. You could have told the Giants to go easy on us. Come on now.
Hey, just got that's right. We played you Thursday. That's right. We beat you up pretty well. But hey, we tried to piss that game. We tried to piss that game away to you. In reality, I mean, we started playing like garbage, and then here you are. So how you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I mean, just keeping up with football world, wrestling world. I mean, just usually watching the Saints play every Sunday. So today I got an off day from that, but yeah.
Yeah, because you got to Thursday. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have my watch party thing that I do Thursday. So
how are you feeling about Dennis Allen today? I mean, you must be really psyched about the rest of the season, about your guy, that leads your football team. How are you feeling? Dennis, he's your guy, right? The guy for the future. What's what's his record? Was it 13 and what was it? 13 and 42 or something like that? Something
Help me.
nonsense.
Someone help me. I need some help. Please save me.
Well, I think you probably will get a new head coach next year, and seeing how that. But although I thought that would work out really well with him and Derek Carr, new beginning, something new. But man, Derek Carr looks like Derek Carr, over with the Raiders, and he's not really doing very much to kind of help your football team become better.
I mean, yeah, he's made his mistakes, but he's not Andy Dalton. That's one thing I can say. He is not Andy Dalton. Like this year, I see more potential in the team. And you know what I'm seeing a lot more of? I'm seeing a lot more of Michael Thomas playing time and him actually trying in the games. Everyone was saying, "Oh, he's injured. He's injured. He's no good anymore. He's no good anymore. He's 30."
It's not true. I knew it. I told you, didn't I? I told you on this show. On this show, go back in the archives. He's not injured. He's hurt. In other words, he's hurt feelings. He doesn't like the quarterback who's delivering him the ball, whether it's Andy Dalton or whoever it was. Now he's got a guy that, really kind of, I guess you can call Derek Carr a top 10 quarterback. So that's kind of nice. I mean, to be able to, and he's utilized Michael Thomas as well a lot, but they just did not put it together on Thursday night. It was actually a really bad outing for the Saints in reality, because they had at least four opportunities to win that football game, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah. One big problem with the team, our kicker. I don't know why we got rid of freaking Will Lutz. This guy, our kicker, I don't even want to know his name. So that's why I haven't learned his name. I know his first name is Blake, and his last name starts with a G. That's all I want to know, because I don't want to have to listen to this kid's nightmare. I don't want to have to listen to his name.
Missed two of them on Thursday. Yep. Yeah. 2 of them on Thursday. That hurts you. I mean, and you need those 3, to kind of keep you in the football game. Just couldn't get done. But I'm telling you right now, Josh Allen for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm telling you right now, this guy's monster. You got to talk about Josh Allen as a defensive MVP right now. Yeah. So that's one of the things I wanted to mention up on the show. Looking at early MVP candidates right now, here we are, week 7. Josh Allen is definitely on that, scale of a defensive guy that could quite possibly make Defensive Player of the Year. So I'll throw that at the Podfather. Looking at early stages of the year, players that you can think of in the NFL, and there are many of them. Who do you think right now is Player of the Year at wherever you think they are? I have Jared Allen on the defensive side of the ball for the Jacksonville Jaguars, not because he's Jaguars. He's just playing out of his mind. Look at the numbers. He's leading all the numbers. So is there somebody that you got that you can say, hey, this guy, watch out. He could be consideration of the Player of the Year?
Well, I think because the position-wise, a lot of the NFL goes towards the quarterback, and they're going to look at Brock Purdy only because of what the Niners have done. Now, minus what happened this last week with the loss, but I mean,
that was bound to happen sooner or later.
I mean, it's hard to go undefeated. So I mean, even the Patriots can pull it off. So I mean, I think they're going to look at Brock Purdy primarily because the NFL is kind of a give-up league when it comes to looking for awards. Like, they're like, well, I'll just give it to him. So, and right now, the Niners are still the team to beat in the NFC or the NFL for that matter. And,
I fully agree.
Brock Purdy is pretty much he's Mr. Irrelevant, right? So you take Mr. Irrelevant and you make him an MVP. What does it say about that position now? So I think that's the bigger story. As much as I see Zia sitting over there turning around saying, I don't want to hear this crap about Brock Purdy. I understand. I'm the same way. I don't want to say it either. I'm not a big Brock Purdy fan per se, primarily because of the team he plays for. But the thing is, you got to call it what it is, And right now, Brock Purdy has turned the NFL upside down because never, ever, 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 ever does the last pick of the draft dominate the league ever?
8-1 in the regular season, man. He finally lost a regular season game. 8-1
to the Browns too. The freaking Browns.
Yeah. So out of them all. So interesting. So Z, looking early in the season, do you have a player of the year candidate right now that you are thinking of that is dominating at what they are doing right now?
That's tough. Player of the year candidate, man.
I know it's early. I know people go,
okay.
Why are you doing this?
Hold on. First of all, Z, is there anybody from the Saints that is really worth player of the year?
Oh,
Chris Olave.
Huh?
Y'all cannot deny about Chris Olave. We can hot take, but not a hot take. Chris Olave has top 10 hands in the league right now.
He's a step up number 2 behind Michael Thomas. I agree.
Okay, how many number 2 receivers ever get player of the year?
Well, when they step
number 2 now, though? Is he number 2 now, though?
But
is it Michael Thomas? Well, I think the consensus would be is that Michael Thomas is the number 1 because he's been there longer. He's done it, so he kind of gets the title because of his tenure there in New Orleans. But I'm telling you right now, I agree with you, Z. This guy, I'll define step up number 2. A number 2 that is getting number 1 recognition in reality, whether it's stats, getting the ball, targets, making plays after he catches the ball. I think Olave is right there. What's this look, Podfather? Jesus,
Look. Okay. Here's a little history lesson for everybody. Okay. Back when Jerry Rice was running roughshod over the NFL. Believe me, I'm not a 49ers fan. Again, I don't care. John Taylor was pretty good too, but no one ever thought about putting John Taylor as the MVP of the league.
Well, right? No. Hey, wait a second.
No, it's true. No one thought of putting John Taylor.
Early. Look at. Have you seen Olave's stats?
No, I've not seen Olave.
That's because you don't look. I see. That's because you're not deep into it.
But also,
you asked him the question.
No, you did actually.
You went back and said, "Well, since it's not the player, it's the Saints." You asked him the question.
Well, you picked the Jaguar. You picked the Jaguar defensive player.
Well, that's because
that's a homers. Really, I didn't pick one.
Whoa!
Don't roll me. Did I pick a Dallas Cowboy? No, I did not. I'm honest about it. You guys look at the okay to steal a line that you steal from. Watch the game, okay? And I'm sorry, a player from the Saints currently, where are the Saints located right now in the NFL?
You asked him about a Saints player. Maybe did I mishear him? Did he ask? He did ask me about the Saints, right?
Look, because I know he's going to pick a Saint. Okay, that's why I know that. Okay?
I mean, but was I? But was I going to pick a Saint? I picked a Saint because you asked me to pick a Saint. You asked me to pick a Saint. I'm picking a Saint.
I'll go back in the archive and I'll replay it.
All right. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm too tired.
All right. So I don't know. Do you have anybody that you can think of in the NFL? Probably, even though you're a homer and all, you would not pick Olave to go ahead and be kind of an MVP candidate through the NFL. Is there someone so far that you've seen this season that stands out that you would say, whether it's defense, offense, special teams, any player, who would you think?
Yeah, I mean, if I gotta give I'm gonna go ahead and give an NFC offense and AFC offense. For NFC, he dropped off because he went to the Lions, but now the Lions are a good team. Give me Jared Goff for NFC Offensive Player of the Year. You gotta put respect on his name. Y'all gotta remember. A lot of people don't remember. They crap talk him because what were they last year? 3-14 or something?
I think they won a few more, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, they weren't good. But Jared Goff took the Rams to a Super Bowl, and now he's what's the record? 5-1.
Yeah, 5-1.
Yeah, 5-1, and Or are they 6-1? We're week 7. So
I think they had a bye though.
they had a bye. Okay, they're 5-1.
Yeah.
So we can say this because that would be. Let's put it like this: the
I,
Lions have lost one game. One of the teams have only lost a game. The Niners, the Eagles, a lot of top tier teams. Their
with
win
those
loss
losses,
ratio.
put them right there.
You gotta put the Lions up there at least for this season. They're having their best start to a season since I don't know, but I can't remember when they had a great start to a season like this. But like changing pace, they play the Ravens today though. That's gonna be a tough matchup. But one thing about the Ravens I can say though, their team's always injured. They at least always have two major players that are always injured. It's either
Hmm.
Marlon Humphrey, um, who knows, maybe OBJ, which actually hasn't been too bad. He's been all right. Um, but the Ravens are always a team to be contended with. It's always going to be a good matchup. They have a pretty solid defense as well, even without Marlon Humphrey. But for NFC offensive player, I got Jared Goff, and then AFC. I mean, we all know that the NFL just loves Mahomes, so I just got to take Mahomes because they love
Uh,
Mahomes.
I like your pick of Jared Goff. Think about this, Jared Goff. Okay, you
Hmm.
didn't think they were very good, but Jared Goff was pretty good last year. He threw for 4,300 yards, 29 touchdowns, and only 7 interceptions through the season. As of right
Hmm.
now, where they are going through week 6, he's got 1,600 yards, 11 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. So in the
Hmm.
year before that, he wasn't very good. He slowly moved it in. He's developing that chemistry with the Lions. And we might as well talk about that game now because this one here is going to be a really interesting one because whether or not the Lions are going to be able to go and into Baltimore and get a victory, how I look at football teams, if they're going to be good, you got to beat teams that are at least on your level or maybe that one step above. Depending on what you think about the Ravens, that I think they're kind of even. If
Yeah.
anything, the Ravens might be just one little step above because of talent, not because of record, but because of talent. And this is a game where the Lions have to prove they're a good football team. So Trey, I see that face. I see him going. I see his eyes rolling even when his eyes are shut. It's just one of those things. Looking at this game, what are you looking at when Baltimore is taking on the Lions in Baltimore?
It's gonna be a tough. It's gonna be a test for the Lions for sure. By the way, coach of the year for me is Dan Campbell. So, for him to do what he's done with that team, clearly he made me a believer. Um,
Yeah.
that's gonna be tough. Who did I pick in that one? I got Detroit winning. I can go either way with that one though. Really.
That's why I wanted to start with this one
Yeah.
because I think there are a couple of games where you got to really think. I think some of them are just automatic and you're
I'm
going
so
with them.
I,
But
now.
thinking about this one,
Are we too early to flex the game out to a 3 o'clock game?
uh,
Because this is a primetime game.
I agree. I think this could be on prime time, and I think it could be very enjoyable. No, I don't know. They change the rules on the flexing all the time, but Sunday night football is actually a good one here this weekend. So
Yeah,
I think they're in pretty good
we got
shape.
Philly, Miami. So yeah.
Yes.
Um, you know, damn, I guess I picked Detroit because Detroit's just they have the it factor this year.
Yes.
Baltimore, they have it more so than Baltimore, and
Hmm.
and not by much.
Right.
Once again, it's that whole Lamar Jackson. Is he going to show up tonight or not? But do
Good.
you trust? But do you trust Lamar Jackson to show up more than you trust Goff? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, well, take a look at the Lions. Lions are scoring 28 points a game. That's fourth in the NFL. Baltimore scoring 22.2. That's good for 15th in the NFL. So the offense is
right.
a little bit different. But when you look at the defense, this is where it comes into play. As far as the Lions are concerned, they're giving up 18 points a game. That's good for ninth in the NFL. But Baltimore, they put a stranglehold, only 15.2 points a game. That's good for fourth in the NFL. And, when I was looking at it and saying, yes, but defense wins football games. I don't say defense wins championships. I say defense wins football games, especially in the regular season. This is a big time of it. So I'll throw it over to Z. You got the Lions. You have the Baltimore Ravens. What is your take up on what you think you'll see today?
Well, I mean, here's one thing you gotta take into account. Like I said, um, usually that Baltimore defense is banged up, like
Mm-hmm.
injuries all the time. Um, Injuries or no injuries for a defense that the Lions play, the Lions always have that offensive. I don't know how to put it into words, but they always have a good offense to where it's never like oh, they're either gonna play good on offense this week or they're not. No, they're gonna either play balanced offense or they're gonna play really, really good offense. I mean,
Lights out.
you got Jared Goff, you got Jameer Gibbs, which you know I really like Jameer Gibbs. Honestly, draft night, I was actually getting pretty mad that the Lions took Jameer Gibbs because I really wanted him to be in the Saints. That's all I'm saying. So, he's really good at running back. Um, their receivers, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown. What he's a stud. I mean,
He is.
he was no one really knew about him until he was out there making plays, and he's become that guy. Big fantasy guy too. Big fantasy football guy. He'll get you your fantasy
Yep.
points. You got Jamison Williams, speedster. They got a really solid wide receiver core. Um, they're not like big names, but they're guys that definitely get the job done and get the ball moving down the field. You got Sam Laporta at tight end. You got a really good offensive line. My opinion, Lions have one of the best offensive lines in the league. Um, but I think I got to put them behind Philly, just because Philly they
I
have a really
like
good
it.
offensive line. Because but what's gonna happen is all of these guys from Philly are gonna start retiring, like Jason Kelsey and like all these older guys on the offensive line. Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey gonna retire. I mean, this is Kelsey's last season, right? Pretty
I
sure.
would think so, but isn't Kelsey a Philadelphia Eagle?
Yeah.
That's
Cause
what he's talking about, sir.
yeah,
Oh,
cause I was trying to say that. I
You
was
should
trying
watch
to
your own
say
show,
that.
sir.
Yeah, because I was trying to say that the Lions offensive line is going to
you
overtake
went.
the Eagles
He did a
offensive line.
something. You went off to the left, and I
Uh,
didn't. I didn't keep up with him,
You're
but
good.
that's
You're
okay.
good.
But yeah,
Yeah,
so yeah,
and they
I'm
got a really good
professional.
defensive line, solid defense. I mean, one thing I feel like maybe next draft or maybe through a trade, they go for a true number one corner. Don't get me wrong. Cameron Sutton and Emmanuel Mosley aren't bad, but they kind of I could see them going back and forth for number one. But in my opinion, on a lot of football teams, these guys would be number two, number three corners, which
Yeah,
is why they built up their safety group. Kirby Joseph, he's a really good safety. Tracy Walker, he's good too. C.J. Gardner Johnson, he was really good for the Eagles and really good for the Saints. Brian Branch, young guy who's playing really well this season.
hmm
So you gotta take into account that the Lions defense is really good. So you gotta take into account, is the Ravens offense gonna be able to handle the Lions defense? I
that
mean,
big
you
one.
gotta, because right here, it's either Lamar's gonna run the ball or he's gonna pass it, because they don't have they don't have their running back is always injured. Their running back group is always injured, which is why I think that they kind of
let Lamar run the ball. Because if you brought a non-injury prone running back into the Ravens, in my opinion, I think you would see less running the ball from Lamar Jackson and
No,
more
you wouldn't. No, you
from
wouldn't. He runs first
which
and then he throws.
he
That's what
runs
he did.
first. But the offensive coordinator is going to say, "Hey, we don't want you injured." Even though because Lamar gets injured quite a bit. I mean,
Right.
it's not like OBJ injury. It's not like Saquon injuries, but like he gets injured often.
Do you think Lamar Jackson gives a living crap about what the offensive coordinators tell him to do? No, he's his own
Well,
player.
he
He's his own
definitely is.
player.
He makes a lot more money than they do. In his mind, he thinks he's got the end all be all for the thing.
Listen, I think that's a valid point. And
Thank you.
take away with that thinking, what is Baltimore doing this year is kicking field goals. They're not scoring touchdowns. And that's one of the things that is stopping Baltimore from being dominant in the AFC, never mind the AFC North, but just in the AFC in general. And now, think about this. The Lions, what are they doing? They're just scoring points after points after points. Okay. Their offensive line is the reason why you're seeing Jared Goff deliver the ball the way he's doing it. Now, that having been said, that's the name of the show. Catch us 9 to noon. Think about Baltimore. There's things that have Sonny picked up on. These coaches know they got to score touchdowns. Now, whether or not they're going to do it up against the Lions, that's going to be the biggest story. And if they decide to stand up, stud up, and get into the end zone, that's going to be the difference between Baltimore winning and not losing. And here's another thing. The Lions don't let people run on them. However, when you say running, that's traditional running hand and off. It's not Lamar Jackson going back looking and then decides to run the football or do it in the thing. So it's a different type of, if you look at the rushing that the Lions stop, it's not the rushing that you get with Lamar Jackson. It's the rushing you get from a running back. And I think that's a big difference when you're looking at that, look at they're really good against the run. Yeah, but so Lamar Jackson is a little bit different. They're home. And I think that little bit of difference is the reason why I'm going Baltimore. I don't like Baltimore in Detroit, but I do like Baltimore at home. So that being said, who do you have in this one, Z?
I gotta take Detroit. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna keep it straight here. I like a lot of the Detroit players, which makes me really like the team, which also makes me want to go for the team. I mean, their team, they're 5-1. You got the 5-1 Lions, and then you got the 4-2 Ravens. You gotta take into account, right? I mean, record sometimes doesn't always matter. I mean,
I agree.
And think about it. The Lions beat the Chiefs this year. Now, I don't care what anyone says about, they didn't have Travis Kelce. They didn't have Travis Kelce.
Don't matter.
Exactly. And just because Mahomes doesn't have receivers doesn't mean that he should lose a football game. If Mahomes is going to be MVP
and it was
every single season and called the best quarterback, you have to be able to get the ball in your receiver's hands. Yeah, I get it. He had it right where he needed to be, but we gotta remember, here's one thing, and I'll be honest, when I play football, I hate catching bullets. And bet you not, all Mahomes throws are bullets. Why? Because he played pitcher in baseball as his main position. He threw in the NFL, he threw in NFL football 73 miles an hour one time.
That's impressive.
Now, I mean, yeah, that's extremely impressive. I can only throw baseball with 54. But yeah, Detroit has a really good chance tonight. Against this Ravens defense. Don't get me wrong, Ravens defense isn't bad, but Ravens defense isn't what it used to be. Ravens, they've been known for their defense. They really have. they have greats like Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. I mean, many great defensive players have become
Different.
Baltimore Ravens,
Yeah.
and you gotta for the Ravens today. You go in. This is what you do. You try and lock down Amon-Ra St. Brown, and you lock
I
up the
agree.
deep ball. And that's
Yep.
how you win the game today. If you're the Ravens, how you're winning the game, you lock up Amon-Ra St. Brown. Whether that means you play zone, if Amon-Ra goes across the middle, you have a man guy and a zone guy. You put the linebacker in the zone, let him stay in the zone, but have the man coverage corner following him. I mean,
I like
it's
the thing about that, and for the Lions to win, I think they have to obviously the main target's going to be St. Brown. Jared Goff's going to
yeah,
have to deliver the ball to other people. I mean, in reality, they're going to
right.
down. I mean, that defense may not be Ed Reed, may not be Ray Lewis, but that defense is still one of the biggest part of the football teams that are there.
It is.
So they're going to have to lock down St. John. I think you're right. How they're going to do it? Are they going to do one-on-one? They going to double up, hit the zone? That means Jared Goff's going to have to throw the ball to somebody else in order to get to get the win. So that being said, Podfather, are you on the Lions, or did we change your mind enough to go ahead and say, well, we'll go Baltimore?
I went Baltimore. I went and made the change.
I'm going Baltimore. I like both of these football teams, but the home team, 4-2 is in my opinion is almost as good as 5-1, especially when there were two of the games that the Baltimore Ravens should have won. So kind of looking at in that way, and that early start that Baltimore always gets, they start going down, they start falling down at about week 14, week 15, and then they get these wins against big teams, and I think that's what's going to happen. Whoop, there we go. I'm not good with my weather. I am going to go Baltimore. I'm going to head up into that one. That's going to be, and by the way, that's going to be an entertaining game to watch. So keep your eyes out for that one. Now, the other one that is really kind of confusing me, okay, it's the Washington Commanders taking on the New York Giants. Boy, do these teams suck. I mean, these are not good football teams. Washington looked pretty good. They got the win last week. The Giants have lost 4 in a row. I mean, but they are home. So this is one of those ones where it kind of confuses me, and trying to figure out who and why I'm going to take a team is huge as far as that is concerned. And Greg Wepper is jumping in and says Ravens all day. We will find out. That should be really good. Greg Weber being our Philadelphia Eagle expert. That's going to be a good game on Sunday Night Football. But that being said, of course, that's the name of the show. Fashionably late, I don't know, because I see his jersey. So I don't know if fashionably late is right, but we'll go ahead and bring him on in anyway. He's the main co-host of this program.
You can't see me.
We'll have him in. Do we see him? He's hiding. There he is.
What's
How you
up,
doing?
guys?
Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you as well. I am had some technical difficulties setting up my studio, but I'm here now.
Yes.
So
I think you're a couple of seconds behind us as well. So I'm wondering, because it just kind of the way you react to what we are saying seems to be a couple seconds behind, but maybe it'll catch up as we get going. Good morning. Good to see you.
Just sneeze one time, see what happens.
Yeah, something like that. All right, so he is a few seconds behind. That's fine. Now, so Cuervo, I'm going to back it up before we go to the next game that we're talking about. I want to go back to the Detroit-Baltimore game. I want to get your take up on the Baltimore Ravens and Lions today. What are you looking at when you take a look at this game?
Yeah, Ravens Lions. I mean, I think that when you watch the Ravens, it's almost like we're back to the same situation with them, right? Receivers not getting open. They're having issues with getting guys on, down the field, making plays. And, Lamar can only do so much on his own. So that's got me concerned. I think the Ravens really need to make some investments on the wide receiver position. Yes, they drafted Zay Flowers. And I think that was a start, but I think they need to continue moving in that direction with them.
And
the Lions, I mean, they're playing well. I mean, there's really nothing else you could say about that. And I think this is going to be a good matchup, Sonny. I think defenses. It's probably going to be a lower scoring game than we may realize. I think people are expecting a high scoring game. I don't. I see the opposite with this one. I think it's going to be low scoring.
Definitely. So officially, who are you on in this game? Because I looked at Jared Goff. They're gonna Ravens, if they're smart, they'll double up on St. Brown, or at least have their stud on St. Brown. So then, Jared Goff's gonna have to throw the football. He's got 1,600 yards, 11 touchdowns so far this year, which is MVP caliber talk at this time of the season. But I think distributing the ball for the Lions is going to be the most important thing, because if they lock down St. Brown, he's going to have to figure out how to get the ball into the end zone with somebody else.
Right. Yeah. And that is the thing. He's got some guys that are out. But you know what? I give a lot of credit to the OC Ben Johnson up there in Detroit. They're still finding ways to make plays and for Goff to still put up, good numbers, good enough to win football games. So I think with that being said, with how we've described the Ravens before, Sonny, as like a Jekyll and Hyde team, right? So sometimes you don't know what you're getting week in and week out with them. So with that being said, I'll go with the team that's a little more consistent, even with their backfield a little beat up. So give me the Lions. I'll take the Lions to win this game.
All right. So on the Lions, this is one of the three tough games that I got. I think the other ones are kind of right there to pick. This was one of them. So let's get back to the Washington Commanders. The Commanders, kind of crazy football team. The Giants need their offense to get going. It has been stagnant. It's worse than that water that sits in one of those places where they manufacture it. Just stinks and stinks and stinks. And the Commanders, they've given up the 6th most passing yards per game in the league. So that being said, I don't know. Can Jones deliver the football? And so far,
they playing today.
Say again.
I think Jones is out today.
Is he out? Well, that's because of injury or because of injury. Oh, well, let's find out. I got the injuries right in front of me. Well, let me just hit the right team, though.
Yeah,
give me a second.
Listed as questionable.
Got him as questionable.
Yeah.
So that would be the question then, whether or not he, obviously questionable. Where's the game so I can find out where? There it is, right there. And let me get to the injuries, because that is a big part of the game, whether or not. But Daniel Jones, he is actually out. Okay, so that has been made official. Neck injury, he is out. Saquon Barkley is questionable because of an ankle. So the question is, Saquon Barkley, rumors of being talked of trading him away. Does he really want to go in there and give it a go if he's not 100% on the ankle? I think Daniel Jones is a big difference. So then when you look at the New York Giants, this is a football team that has not been playing good, and you lose Daniel Jones, who is actually, I guess, your guy. So they got to go to their backup as far as the that is concerned, and we don't even know. Do we even know who he is? Do you know who the backup quarterback is, Cuervo? Or anybody?
It's not the lefty.
For the Giants?
Is it Colt McCoy?
No, it's Tyrod Taylor.
No.
Yes, Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
Oh, Tyrod Taylor. Wait, Tyrod Taylor?
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor.
Really? That
And they
changed
kept the
the.
game close
sir.
against the Bills.
Listen, that changes the whole dynamic of this game in reality because right now, Tyrod Taylor, even sitting on the bench, is better than what we're getting from Jones out on the man. This one's got me almost. Listen, Tyrod Taylor, say whatever you want about him, game manager or whatever, game manager or not, he got the W's when he was a starter, right, Cuervo? This guy, he's the one that started the Buffalo Bills on getting better until they brought in Josh Allen. Then he goes to other football games and makes them better when their quarterback goes down. Listen, I was actually on Washington on this game.
Right.
With the fact that Jones is out, or I was on New York on the I was on Washington, but with Tyrod Taylor, I think I'm making the change right now. So convince me, Cuervo, am I right or wrong with Tyrod Taylor? It's a different football team. How many seconds is he behind
I don't
Cuervo?
see it happening.
There he is.
I know. Yeah, I don't. I know you got some love for Tyrod, Sonny, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the guy hasn't played in so long, though. You know, when he was doing what he was doing in Buffalo, that's because he was the full-time starter at the time. Rex Ryan was the head coach, and he
made the playoffs for the first time in forever.
Right, and so, but he was a full-time starter. He was playing a lot more consistently than now. So
right.
I don't think you're going to get the same Tyrod Taylor that we saw, you know, at that point in time a few years back. So, with that being said, I like not because I think they're good, but you got to pick somebody, right? So I'm going to take the Commandos.
Z, I'm looking at your face, and then I'm looking at the Podfather. I think he fell asleep, but I'm looking at your face. So Z, what's your take? It is Tyrod Taylor. You know, it kind of. Yeah, I don't know. I do got some love for Tyrod Taylor. So what do you think about that? Does that change your opinion about the game, Z?
Okay, so first off, I'm gonna lay this out right here. You know, Tyrod Taylor, I don't care what anyone says, anyone. He might be a 34-year-old quarterback who is gonna retire soon, you know, but he almost won the game for the Giants against the Bills. Now, whether you say it or not, you know, the game was called, but the game was called. They didn't call the last pass interference. Because they got the ball at the 1 yard line, no time left. You know, back in the end zone when they tried to throw that up to Darren Waller, that was pass interference. I don't care what anyone says, that was pass interference. But the game was called.
Okay.
Game was called, so yeah, Bills won. But he had a 66.7% completion percentage, 200 yards, and an 80.8 passer rating. And then against the Dolphins, he didn't necessarily play the entire game, but he had 75% completion percentage, 86 yards, and that's against a pretty good Dolphins
3 times
defense.
for crying out loud too.
Yeah. But my take, God, that's tough. See, with the Commanders, right? I will say one thing: their running backs are not great. That's one thing I'm going to start off with. Their running backs aren't great. Antonio Gibson, he's not great. Brian Robinson Jr., sometimes, but it's not like he's not an explosive back like, you know, who could I give an example of? Christian McCaffrey or something. Let's just go with that. He's more of a power back that he's more of a power back that doesn't play like Derrick Henry. So more of a calmer yet more aggressive power back. But you got to think, Sam Howell, he's been looking pretty decent. I'll be honest. I hated on Sam Howell. He's looking better now though. Brought the team to a 3-3 record. But you have Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, and Curtis Samuel as your top 3 wide receivers. That is a really solid top 3. It's just, can Sam Howell get him the ball? Now, another thing, right? I think the Commanders have one of the best defensive lines in football. You have Chase Young when
Last 3 years.
Yeah. You have Chase Young when he's healthy. Okay? Even if he's not healthy and he's out there playing, he'll disrupt the pass for sure. You have Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne at defensive tackle, and then who do they have at the other end?
Montez
I know
Sweat.
his name. I can't think of it. Sweat. Montez Sweat. That's probably the weaker part of the line, but he's still pretty good. Again, tough decision, but with the Giants' offensive line not being so good, that Commanders' defensive line is going to get through that offensive line. I think it's going to be close. I really do, but give me the Commanders. Give me the Commanders.
Podfather, Trey Mack. What is your? Oh, excuse me. Sorry, Trey. Z. I thought you were done.
No, you're good.
You
Yeah,
good?
no, you're good.
Trey Mack. What are you thinking this one? What are you looking at?
Y'all are too busy talking about Tyrod Taylor and everything else. Dude, the Giants' defensive line sucks. Okay.
Yes.
And the quarterback for the Commanders. Look, he ain't great, but he's better than most. And he can find a way to dink and dunk through that defensive line of the Giants. Y'all keep forgetting one thing. The Giants gave 40 freaking points to the Cowboys opening night.
You won't forget that, will you? That's
no, shut up. Look, it was easy going to bring up the fact that Mahomes couldn't find receivers on opening day weekend. Then I'm going to bring up the Cowboys destroying the Giants. This is how it is. So look. By the way,
I think you said it though for 7 weeks though.
That's all I really got to go on. I don't lie. Hey, look. We destroyed New York, NFC and AFC. What can I tell you? But
there you go.
But look, the Commanders are. I keep wanting to say the Redskins. The Commanders are the favorites, and going into the game, not by much probably, but they're still the favorites. Giants don't know who they are. Commanders, look, they understand they're not the greatest team in the world, but at least they're fighters. They're going to beat you up. It's a divisional game. They're going to beat each other up quite a bit, like we always talk about. So give me the Commanders.
Yeah, the Giants defense right now, I'll tell you right now, the Giants defense match up fairly well with this football team. Now, Wink Martindale right now has not been the so-called genius that we give him, right, Cuervo? On this show, we got some love for Wink Martindale. Mm-hmm. And he is just unfortunately not being able to get his team to follow. But with this game, with the team I'm just going to say it, the Commanders suck. Okay, so when you got two football teams that suck, you got to kind of weigh the players. But then what happens is that Wink Martindale's such a good coach, they start going up a little bit more. I like the fact that so on this game, I'm picking the fact that they brought in Tyrod Taylor, which right now is better than what you're getting with Daniel Jones. Then I'm gonna go with Wink Martindale. I'm gonna go with coaching. I'm gonna go New York. So are you gonna go Washington or are you gonna go New York, Cuervo? I think you said Washington.
No, I'm
right?
on Washington.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. You should watch the show, Sonny.
So, sometimes I can't remember. See, I got short-term memory problems. So what'd you say? See what I mean? So that's that. All right. So I'm gonna go Giants. Everybody else on Washington. So I'm gonna hang out. Maybe I'll be. Oh, we just lost Cuervo. He'll probably come back. I'm gonna have to teach him Ethernet. Or go get more memory in that damn computer of yours.
I think he got tired of ignoring him.
Yeah, no, I just talked to him. So he's going to restart his laptop. All right, so very good. That's where it goes, and the Giants right there. All right, so that being said, I agree with you, Greg. I think the Giants are actually going to get up on that one and go in there and get the victory. So that being said. The next game that I thought was really kind of confusing, hard game to figure out because the Atlanta Falcons have lost 5 games in a row. Tampa Bay hasn't been great, but Tampa Bay against bad football teams, they've shown up. But you don't. This game here, as far as Atlanta on the road. Oh my God, they're horrible on the road. So I mean, I looked at this game with 2 bad football teams going at it. Somebody is going to step up. Someone is going to make some plays. But the question is, who is it going to be? So, Podfather, Trey Mack, look at this game. What do you think about this one? I mean, both teams are really not good.
Maybe not, but the thing is, though, is that Tampa Bay is a lot better than the other team. So, give me Baker Mayfield. I think I think the offense is more dialed in with him now than they were earlier, and also do think that because Atlanta's a tricky team. You pick against them, they beat you. You pick with them, they lose. So it's kind of whatever. I mean,
plus the Bucs are coming out of the bye.
True too, facts. And Atlanta's beat up too. So give me the Bucs.
Yeah, the Atlanta Falcons defense right now, they struggle on the road. So that means I think you're right up as far as that's concerned. Baker Mayfield can have a great day throwing the football. I mean, so Baker Mayfield, you just kind of look at it, get him in between 225, 250 yards, passing. I think that they would be, because they don't run the football very well. So they are missing Leonard Fournette big time. I'm just telling you right now, they have no running game going on right there. So it's going to be on Baker in order to get the football team to win the game. Is that a good idea? They are at home. If this game was in Atlanta, I'd be taking Atlanta in a heartbeat. So Z, look at this one. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Atlanta Falcons. You got Ritter. They decided he's the savior. He's going to be the guy they're going to go to, depend upon all year. What's your take against the Tampa Bay Bucks?
All right. The Falcons. One thing I can say, they really built up their defense this offseason. They really, really did. This makes it a really good defensive football team. And I'll tell you one thing. One guy that is going to give Mike Evans a run for his money in the secondary, you're gonna have Jesse Bates getting up on Mike Evans or Chris Godwin, whoever it is.
Right.
So here's my thing, right? My Saints are 3-4. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Looking for me, if this was just me, I would want the Falcons to win, give the Bucs that third loss, right? I'd be okay with the Falcons being 4-3 because they'll probably just pull another 28-3 again, but
could be.
so they'll pull a late season 28-3. Trust me, they will. They'll be like, I don't know, 8 and I don't know, 1 or whatever. They'll finish like 8-9, 9-8 in this playoffs. But just speaking, realistically, not trying to be biased towards the Saints. I think I gotta give this one to Bucs. I think I gotta give this one to the Bucs. I think I really do. Because if you think about it, the Bucs, they have a really well put together football team. They have, of course, Baker Mayfield, who's actually been looking pretty solid in Tampa.
He's solid. He's not great. He's just solid, and there's a difference.
Yeah. He's just solid. But they have Sean White, running back. He's not terrible, but it's not Leonard Fournette, who's still in free agency, who they could still sign back, who they could still get to be the starting running back. But the Buccaneers are just kind of stupid like that.
3.3 yards a carry for White, then that's not going to get the job done.
Yeah. But here, Mike Evans, really great receiver. I hate Mike Evans because of the beef that he started with Marshall and Lattimore. But I don't think anyone's going to deny that having a 6'5" wide receiver that has insane hands and can actually run the routes well and actually has a little bit of speed on him, I think anyone can agree he's beating almost anyone in a one-on-one. Let alone AJ Terrell. AJ Terrell, I get it. Yeah, he's young, he's good, but he's not Mike Evans coverage guru. And then Chris Godwin's gonna get what, like Isaiah Oliver or something? How many people know who Isaiah Oliver is? Not a lot. Which makes me feel like Chris Godwin's playing.
Watch the game though. Like, I mean, listen, we put in the time here. We watch it and we know who he is. So, but you're right. The average fan don't necessarily know who he is.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a tough day for the secondary for the Falcons, especially if the Buccaneers decide to just keep throwing the ball up to Mike Evans, which he's fully capable of going up, getting the ball. And then Kate Otten at tight end. He's a really solid young tight end.
Yeah.
I don't really have a comparison for him right yet, at least. So I can't really, say much, but I know.
So who you got in this one? If you were gonna pick the winner, who do you have in this one? I mean, have you talked yourself into a team to actually win this game?
I don't know. I mean, they're both coming off a loss. So, but I mean, in theory, I said in theory. Golly, help me.
Listen, well, Z, you have created the Z drinking game. Every time you go, I start drinking. So just let you know.
You'd be really drunk.
Yay.
Yay. Next time he's going to punch you in the mouth. How about that? How about that?
So, that being said, I take the Buccaneers.
Buccaneers.
I take the Bucs here. I think it's take here.
There are 3 games on the schedule I thought were really you had to think about. The rest of them, I think they're kind of okay. The Lions and the Baltimore Ravens, Washington and New York, and then it was this one, the Atlanta Falcons and the Buccaneers. Mm-hmm. What is your take? I mean, because, man, Atlanta can't get out of their own way, but do you think sooner or later they've lost 5 in a row? I mean, are they going to go? It seems like they're going to go 6 in a row here as they're on the road taking on Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, is it better? Am I still delayed or
no? You are better.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
And you're caught up too.
A restart of the old laptop helps.
Got it. Why don't you go get some more memory in that damn thing? It's $40. Take it up to the Geek Squad. Throw in another. What'd you say? This idiot right here. You gotta love him. Just shut up. Anyway, this one's tough. This is one of the tougher games.
You just gotta play along.
Yeah, I know. Got it.
Yeah.
So what's your take?
If I say something, let me just throw disclosure out there. If I say something out of whack, like what the hell is Cuervo talking about? I haven't watched a whole lot of football the past couple of weeks. Thank you, wife. But I haven't really watched a whole lot. So if I say something, you're kind of like, what? That's why I'm a little out of tune right now with what's going on in the NFL. But I'm going to get back in it today. So, but what I was going to say is, I thought Atlanta was playing better than maybe they actually are. Because I kind of at first was picking Atlanta to win this game, but then Sonny, you said that they lost 5 in a row. Is that?
Yeah,
the Falcons have lost 5 games in a row.
Let me rephrase that. I'm sorry, and that was against the spread. I'm sorry. I should have clarified that. No, because they won. They beat. If I'm not mistaken, they won in London just this past. So, but against the spread, which are low spreads, they haven't did anything against the spread. My bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, against the spread. Okay, well, that's different.
Yeah. So my bad.
No, they lost.
Miscommunication from Sonny. How are we not surprised by that?
You shut up.
I think.
By the way, I am the
bleach-
podfather you see from my headline. I am the president of the Bryce fan club. So
Yeah, I
we
see
wanna-
that. Yeah. So, yeah. But by the way, you know, speaking of that, look what's next week. Uh-huh.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
nice.
Oh boy.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Huh? Huh? Right.
Yeah.
Next week.
The Battle of the Sun.
My
Hey,
Jaguars
guys,
are already in with a win this week, so although they tried
Trey,
to piss it away.
I think what happened was the bleach might have gotten to Sonny's head.
From
all that
Listen,
You got from
look,
here to
look, guys,
here.
guys, look, just take one look at Sonny. Clearly, we now have an Amish Santa. So,
Yeah.
because most
Right.
Santas have mustaches.
Definitely
Okay, I'm
looks
just
like
saying.
one.
Hey, you just can't see it. It's there. It's very
No,
hard
we
to
can't
see.
see it. I cannot
Can't
wait to
see
dye
it.
that thing black. I cannot wait for that.
Well, you got. Hey,
the
you're. What are we gonna do for you if you lose? You gonna bleach yours or no?
Well, am I doing that, or am I just growing my hair out for a full year?
I don't know. I don't know. How about you pick it?
I'll grow my hair out for a
If
full
you
year.
lose, hey, listen, I've been known to go on some bad picks for weeks at a time. So
I'm still waiting.
very
I'm
lucky.
still waiting, sir.
Yeah, very lucky. But all right, so back to what we were talking about. Baker Mayfield, Cuervo, Riddler. I almost called him Riddler. Ritter. That's how much of a joke he is. I thought this was a team who decided that Ritter's going to be the guy. He's going to be, and so far he hasn't really shown, what traditional, franchise quarterbacks can do week in and week out. But then again, not a lot of time out on the football field. So in this one, what do you think? Who do you think is going to come out on top?
Yeah, I like Tampa. I guess I thought of Atlanta a little more different than what they actually are. My thing is because Z mentioned. By the way, nice to see you again, Z. It's been a while. You mentioned Mike Evans and those receivers that they got down in Tampa, and I just don't see who's going to cover them for the Falcons. Like, who's a guy? AJ Terrell's a nice corner. I don't even know if he's playing or not. Like, that's how out of tune I am with the Falcons.
I can
the NFC South.
I can let you know
to my right would know more than I do. Yeah, so I don't even know if he's playing, if he's or if he's just having a bad year, and that's why I haven't heard from him. But I just don't know who's going to stop the passing attack, if you want to call it, of Tampa Bay. As long as Baker doesn't turn into turnover machine Baker, which does happen,
right?
Then I think the Bucs win with ease.
Yeah, the Atlanta Falcons, as far as injuries are concerned, no problems there. Who were you asking about as far as the injury was concerned? There's that short-term memory thing working again.
The cornerback for
Bleach.
AJ
Bleach
Terrell.
kind of burning themselves. Yeah, AJ Terrell.
No, he's not on the injured list right now. So there you go.
Okay. Well, I still like Tampa.
Tampa. All right, very well. All right, so on Tampa, I'm on Tampa. Looks like everybody's on Tampa. Not going that route. Let's see. Someone's got something to say. Greg is here, by the way. So he says Bucks all day long. Not hard to figure out. Yeah. Well, geez, Louise, there you go, Cuervo. You got your buddy. Thinking you're a genius. How about that? All right. So that being said, that's the name of this show.
Yeah.
Okay. Those were the 3 games that were like all tough for me to kind of figure out. So that leads us then to maybe some of the more no problem games. The Buffalo Bills going up against the New England Patriots. The Patriots are having a season to end. Maybe lots of talk about is it time? Is it time to go ahead and go off in the sunset and be Bill Belichick, GOAT that he is supposedly? Has the game got
there's a rumor going on right now. Rumor going on right now that the Commanders might be interested in bringing him in.
Wow, wow. I did not hear that rumor. All right, so let's start there, Cuervo. What about that rumor? If that rumor is true, is this a move that you think, first of all, is a good move? Second of all, would Bill Belichick even do it? That'd be the next question. Or third, all around, does he just stay in New England and moved into, like you said, I think a couple weeks ago, move into the front office?
No,
The
I don't
challenge is
see him
there.
coaching after New England. To be honest with you, I just don't. Yeah, I don't think it's. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't see him going anywhere. Why would he? I mean, it would go from one bad team to another. I mean, in reality, Chico is, having a hard time there in Washington. He's going to have a hard time keeping his job unless they start winning. They might get the win today. Who knows? Because that'll be one to watch. But that being said, this game, Buffalo Bills and the Patriots, Trey. I mean, we're not seeing the Patriots of Tom Brady, or even the first 2 years after he left. They were still a pretty good, solid football team. Defensively, they've always been there, kind of, regardless who they get, to come out there to do what they're going to do. So that being said, I mean, what's your take up on this one?
Dude, Belichick has lost all faith in Mac Jones. That's not good. That is not good at all. And I'm sorry, but when your coach loses faith in your supposed leader of the team, it's never a good thing. So, Bills are the Bills right now, and the Bills are going to be the team in the East out there to really do the thing right. It's so ripe for the picking for them to actually dominate that division right now.
Yep.
The Jets aren't anything. The Patriots aren't anything. I mean, the only thing that's going to give them any issues is going to be Miami. So,
what? Yep. Tough division for average football teams, right?
Right,
I mean,
right. But here's the thing: New England's not even average.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The Jets aren't even average. So,
you got the Bills, and then you got the rest of the other two teams, except Miami.
You legitimately have the haves and have-nots there. Okay, so look, as far as Belichick, if he wants to challenge to go to Washington, I mean, that would be a challenge. Is he up for that? I don't think so. Because once again, the longer he stays involved in the league, that keeps him further away from the Hall of Fame. So,
yep.
Is he going to close it all out and say, screw it and done? Walk into the sunset, go be an analyst for ESPN? That could be a thing.
It could, because he's done it before.
Right, or the NFL Network or whoever. So, I truly do think that I mean the Bills are going to win regardless. But my question is, when does it officially become official, as it is, that Mac Jones is no longer the quarterback of that damn team?
It's interesting too. They got a young kid, Zappy, who came in last year a couple of times, who showed up and played fairly well. And at times I was thinking, well, what's the difference between Mac Jones and Zappy? Nothing in reality. They're the same guy in reality. But then you have to ask yourself the question, who's going to win on a consistent level? I think it's time, if you're going to make the move, and that will be the question, who will start this game. But even if it's Zappy, this is the Buffalo Bills. Listen, this is a football team that has been playing well. They've had their lulls. They go, if I'm not mistaken, they went to London, but they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So this, but the Patriots are not the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the Jaguars are a pretty good football team. Now, I'm just tooting their own horn for them.
Yes, you are.
I think
you are.
But they've got some work to do. And I'll talk about that if and when we get some time, because there's some stuff that and it's not Sonny just beating down on the Jaguars. They damn near pissed that game away on Thursday Night Football. And it's a consistent thing that's going on. And not only that, when I mentioned it, I typed it over to Tom McManus. He said, you're absolutely right. What they are doing, the consistency from the Jaguars are going to have to get up. That said, as far as where the Buffalo Bills are and what they are doing, they got to get back to that mentality of winning football games. What a great game to get that from But how is Bill Belichick going to respond? Listen, I just said Bill Belichick. How's he going to respond? Who's going to start? Who's going to play? Why are they going to play? How much time, if Mac Jones starts and plays, will he get before he pulls him? So lots of questions that are happening over in New England right now as far as the team is concerned, based upon the head coach, not the players. I mean, it's the head coach. So Cuervo, RZ, I don't know what's your take quickly when you think about what's going on with Buffalo and New England. What's your take upon this one?
Well, let's put it this way. I think everyone can agree the Bills are better than the Saints. I think we can all agree on that. So, if the Saints beat the Patriots, 34-0, why not take the Bills beating the Patriots more than 34-0? They hold the Patriots scoreless today, and they put up at least 40 points on them. That's my take.
A 40 burger.
40, yep.
I mean, maybe this is a Miami game. I mean,
that sounds like a slapping of the table right there.
Yeah, that sounded like it to me. I mean, working around that. I don't think anybody in reality is going to go, the Patriots. And someone within our stint picks the Patriots. I think that would be something they got their eye on something, but I don't see how it is. Even Jacksonville is better than the Buffalo Bills right now. Just kind of put that. Now that was a homer stab right there, but take away.
Well, it's about time. It's about time you blow about your Jaguars a little bit.
Well, hold on. Did you watch that game Thursday night? Did you watch that game Thursday night?
I did.
Yeah. All right. So what I'm about ready to say, right? They start believing their own hype. The Jaguars are believing their own hype, and they they damn near lost that game against, no offense to Z, the Saints suck too. I mean, so I just said it. Suck. His eyes almost fell out of his head. They suck, okay? And they should have buried them. After that first drive, they looked like they would beat them 42-14. And then they started making those mental mistakes, stupid mental penalties as well. This is a football team that I think Peterson needs to grab by the cojones, okay, and say, listen, you guys are good, but you're not playing up to your potential of what you can be doing. You make stupid mistakes, and defensively, they almost let a bad Derek Carr, who had who got rocked in the groin, come back and beat you at the end of this game. That was inexcusable. And if that's a different football team besides the Saints, they lose that football game. So, yeah, although I'm glad they're 5-2. Yes, I'm glad they have won 4 in a row. I'm loving all that crap. But as far as consistent football going into this time, we're getting close to what? November. We're 2 weeks away from November, where the NFL gets going, starting in November. And they better pick it up, because they got three other football teams that are really, really good that they got to face in their schedule, and they're facing them at the wrong time. If they're going to be good football teams, they might get wiped out. So the Jaguars, as great as they are, and love seeing them, because this reminds me of the 90s Jaguars, early 2000 Jaguars. Love them, studs. But they are dropping the ball right now. Now, that's not me strapping in. That's creating fact before fiction. This team's buying into their own BS about them being great, and that's the problem right now with the Jaguars. I don't know, Cuervo, what's your take? Are the Jaguars ready to be primed to go into the playoffs and win at least two playoff games?
I don't know about two. I think they can win one for sure, just like they did last year. I think they're right. I think they're still kind of at that same level. I agree. They've improved enough yet to take that next step and win a divisional playoff game. I think they can get the wild card. They can take care of wild card business, but I don't know if they're quite ready for divisional playoffs yet. So.
They're not ready for prime time, is what you're saying. And I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, well, I think there's a small difference there. They're they're one of the better teams in the AFC, but they're not cream of the crop, KC Buffalo quite yet.
Yes.
So are we going back to calling them the Aints? Is that what I'm hearing, right? They're back to being
do you got a bag somewhere in the house, Z, where you can next time you come up? I did it. I did it last year. Remember, I did it last year. I wore a bag for the Jaguars because they were playing.
Best you ever looked too, really.
Yeah, it definitely. I got more dates. Women calling me for dates for after I did that. But do you have a bag that you can throw over your head? Are we going back to the Aints days?
What? No, I am not throwing a bag over my head. I'm gonna be completely honest. Whoa. Like, let's talk about this. Everyone was saying that all of the South divisions, AFC and NFC, were the weakest divisions in football. Let's talk about this. We had, a discussion about, who's gonna win, the Bucs or the Falcons. That's basically like, we were having such a debate about that it's hard to choose which team is going to play worse and which team is going to play better against two bad teams. I will say something right now. The Saints defense is really good right now. That's our offense. When Derek Carr plays good, Derek Carr plays good. We get a good offense. We're still only 3-4. When does that happen? Against the Patriots.
Against bad teams. Okay, gotcha.
I mean, yeah, hold on, wait, that wasn't a great take right there. But you know what? That don't matter because we put up 34 points against the Patriots. That's yeah, no, come on, that wasn't great.
Look out that window. Everybody's put 34 points against the Patriots. Okay, it's okay.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? I'm not gonna put a bag over my head until we have officially not made the playoffs. Because in my eyes, we can still make the playoffs. Now, here's the thing, Podfather. You can't be telling me to put a bag over your head when your team hasn't even made the conference championship in almost 30 years. Like, I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay. Well, can I say something before you keep interrupting me?
Go ahead.
Here's the thing. I know who the Cowboys are. I'm aware. I'm a realist about it. Okay, they suck.
Yeah.
When it comes to playoffs, I get it. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop watching them or pull for them. But I'll be honest about them, and I'll call a spade a spade. Honestly, their win against the Chargers past week, there were two even teams.
Yes,
that game could have went either way. That game could have went,
and it almost did.
It almost did, right? So, look, Cowboys escaped with a win. Surprised they did it, but they did it. No, regardless, they got a bye week. It's probably not going to solve anything because their biggest cancer of all is sitting in the front office. In my opinion.
Surprised.
Now here's the thing, though. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but the Saints are a second half team, or at least offense. At least for the offensive side of the ball, we play best in the second half of football. Our defense plays good basically all around until maybe the last half of the fourth quarter. And
that's when they had an offense, Z. I mean, do they have an offense right now? I mean, you're really thinking about it. They do have two good wide receivers, and they are trying to deliver the ball. But when you got Derek Carr and Jameis Winston trying to tell Derek Carr what he's seeing. I don't know if you've seen the video, but Winston was on the sideline telling Derek Carr what he's seeing, and Derek Carr is turning it. I think I probably would too. It just turned him off. He wasn't even taking 2 seconds to listen to what Jameis Winston said. But they got to put it together with Derek Carr. I mean, this is not the same Saints team that had Drew Brees at the quarterback. So when they are coming back in the second half of it, a lot of it has to do with Drew Brees being able to score. Are they going to be able to score with Derek Carr in the second half?
Well, I mean, yeah, we've seen it. The Saints haven't scored a touchdown. I'm pretty sure we haven't scored a touchdown in the first half all year. But here's the thing. We come back as a second half team. And here's the thing, son. You said two receivers. You're forgetting one guy. One guy that goes by the name of Rashid Shaheed. He is a monster. I don't know if you were saying, like if you were leaving out Michael Thomas or Chris Olave, but if you were leaving out Rashid Shaheed, he's not just a kick returner. He can catch too. I mean, he straight up, flat out lost a Texans defender. Honestly, we should have won that game, but the referees and their flags, they have flags.
Here we go.
The referees, in my opinion, hate us. This is why I hate the Zebras. Yeah. Yeah.
You said they're a second half team, right?
Yeah, we're second half team.
Okay, fair enough. 2021. Let's say around week 10, okay? All right. Sorry, week 10.
You should have never said that.
Lost to the Titans, lost to the Eagles, lost to the Bills, lost to the Cowboys. Now they beat the Jets, they beat the Bucks, they lost to Miami, they beat the Panthers, they beat the Falcons. That's not a second half team, bro. Okay?
Well, I mean, I'm talking second half of football. I'm talking after halftime every game. Look, we go into halftime, right? We scored maybe 6 points. By the end of that game, after halftime, we become a better offensive team. We play good offense after halftime.
Because the other team was playing their backups at that point.
What?
Oh, would you knock it off?
Have you been watching the Saints play? Because what you're saying right now,
he's gonna watch the damn game is what he's saying to you.
Trey, are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? We have put our backups in basically all year. Okay? Trey.
Hey, look. Drew Brees is out there. You can pick him up right now for cheap, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We don't have to bring
Drew Brees was in the Saints. He was actually watching.
You're not going to win with Derek Carr. I got news for you.
Yeah, we are. We've won 3 games with Derek Carr this season. Okay? I mean, at least we're not the Panthers.
Wow.
At least we're not the Panthers.
3 games.
No, and think about it. The 4 teams we have lost to. We lost to the Packers, which we choked that game away. I'll be honest. We choked that game away.
Yes,
we lost to the Texans, but let's be honest. The Texans are starting to become a good football team.
Getting better.
The Texans are becoming a good football team. We lost to the Jaguars, and then our other loss was against who? The Bucks, who aren't terrible. And, I mean, Trey, you gotta...
I don't know.
You gotta take it into account.
The Bucks are the
terrible. Crazy knucklehead terrible.
Trey.
I don't know. I don't know if they're not good. But they're not terrible.
Right. We are what we've been ever since Drew Brees left.
The fact that Sonny said you're not good, you're just not terrible. I pretty much said the same thing.
We are in the middle of the
my ass.
Okay. I have a good reason for that, okay? I am here to defend my team. I will defend my team till the day I die.
I beat the Jaguars up. You guys give them too much love, so maybe that's it. I don't know.
I got a high school buddy of mine. He's putting together me a new podfather this year. He's a diehard Washington fan. He hates the fact they're called the Commanders. You know what? Yeah. He will live and die by whatever Washington does. And when they beat the Cowboys, which they did twice last year, you know what? He rubbed that in my face for as long as he wanted to do. But then the same time, which he should have. Fine, fair enough. But here's the thing: that's probably the only 2 games they won last year too. I think. So I was like, look.
That's a good point.
That's, I mean, you can go it all you want. The fact is, if you're not a good team, you're not a good team. Look, it's okay. New England's going to have to rebound. So all the other teams that suck. Even the Cowboys got to rebound. Well, they'll never do it. But they'll have to rebound. So clearly, I get what you're saying. I was your age too. I was a big fan of the Cowboys back when they lost in the 80s. Back when they lost in the early part of the 90s before they started winning Super Bowls. So yeah, I get it. I'm right there with you, bro. Look, I'm just saying Derek Carr is not the answer, okay? He's not
the answer, but he's better than Andy Dalton.
Well,
which is why I mean he's better than Andy Dalton.
Everybody's better than Andy Dalton. I mean,
honestly, I think Carolina might as well start Andy Dalton. Bryce Young right now is not doing nothing.
Okay.
And you know what?
Let me ask you a question. If the Cowboys could trade Cooper Rush to the Saints, would you take him?
No,
he's won.
I would not.
He's won.
Okay, he's won, but here I'll give you this. All right, I'll give you this. The Cowboys' offense, when Cooper Rush was playing, y'all still had Dalton Schultz, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, Schultz is now in.
He's in Houston.
He's now in Houston. here's the thing, right?
I'll give you Trey
Cowboys
Lance.
have always had a pretty dynamic offense, like a good offense, right?
This debatable.
Debatable. Oh, but like, think about it like this. Think about it like this, right? Cooper Rush was waiting for his time to play. If he were to go to the Saints, well, think about it like this. If we're not throwing Jameis Winston or a rookie quarterback, Jake Hader in, and still keeping Derek Carr in, what makes you think that we would put Cooper Rush in? Really? I mean, if we're not already throwing in our backups, what makes you think that we would put Cooper Rush in?
Because Cooper Rush is a better quarterback than Derek Carr.
Is he though? Yeah, is he though?
Listen, I have no love for Derek Carr, but I'm not going to say he's better than Cooper Rush. All right, now.
That's all.
Cuervo can't even stay off the couch. He almost fell off the couch. I'm telling you right now. But anyway,
time out. Cuervo, you think the Bears would not want to take a flyer on Cooper Rush right now, considering what you have right now?
Oh, my God.
So that it's funny you bring that to me because I'm sitting and listening to you guys debate about who's a bad team and who's and I'm like, y'all forget who my team is?
We ain't talking about the battle of the Sluck game going on. I mean, we'll get there.
It's just the
Raiders and their backup versus the Bears and their backup. Good luck with all that. That's like a preseason game.
Oh Lord, you guys are killing me.
Preseason football comes.
Anyway,
in week 7 of the NFL.
I'm excited about Tyson Bagent today. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep.
There you go.
I am too.
Hold on. That said, the Raiders.
That being said, sir, it's the name of the show. Come on.
Well, that being said. The Raiders and the Bears today, and the reason why I'm going to jump that, I'm not sure how long I get Cuervos today, so I want to make sure that we talk Bears because this is an interesting game because you want to talk about the rumor mill, the head coach is on the block. I mean, his neck is right out there, primed to be. It might as well be Thanksgiving, right? If you're a turkey right now. Now the Bears are in a position. This is a football team that has nothing to lose. And the Raiders, on the other hand, they're not going to lose their coaching. The coaching is set. They're fine. They just need to get some more players. And Cuervo and I, we've discussed this. They just need some more players. And that might happen this offseason. They might be better. That said, the Raiders and Bears in Chicago, I bounce back and forth with this one, Cuervo. Seriously, not just, to take a stab at your Bears, just more in the fact that I don't know about Justin Fields. I don't know if this guy's going to be able to. And then you got Crosby coming from the defensive side of the ball that is getting to the quarterback a lot this season, even kind of ripping them and getting a couple of good unsportsmanlike conduct penalties against him. This game has me up. This was the fourth game that has me confused on who to take outside of being a homer, and more so than you got that. Now, normally I'm going to say Brian Hoyer sucks. Brian Hoyer does suck. Right now, Justin Fields kind of sucks. So
right now,
your quarterbacks are kind of, they both suck. So I'm going to ask Cuervo, outside of Justin Fields, unless he really honestly thinks Justin Fields is going to be a big part of this game if they win, what do the Bears have to do to beat the Raiders today?
We'll trade you Trey Lance.
Well, so in case your memory's a little fried from the bleach, Sonny.
Yeah,
Justin Fields will have zero impact on this game because he's out. He's out. He's got the dislocated
I did
thumb.
not know that. I have not looked at it.
I just said they got two backup quarterbacks playing each other, so you should listen to your show.
Yeah, here we go again. I'm gonna knock this guy out next time I see him. I swear to God. Hey, whoa. Here's the wife. Here's the wife of the.
Yeah.
fine co-host of this program, just ripping into Cuervo's Bears. I don't know.
Well,
The Broncos
both
did
of our
Bears.
teams deserve to be ripped.
She is having a ball with you. By the way, she's too good looking for you. That's number one. Number two, she makes me laugh all day long. So there you go.
Yeah. I gotta say, I got
You
lucky.
definitely-
Very, very lucky.
You traded up big time. You did good.
You got to keep your coverage, sir.
Yes. So, all right. Now back to the original question: how the Bears are going to beat the Raiders today? Is it going to? So no Justin Field. Who's starting then today? Cuervo, inform me.
So again, I'll mention the name. Tyson Bagent is the starting quarterback for my Chicago Bears.
He'll forget in a second.
Now, who the hell is
Whoa.
that? No, that's
Whoa. If you need an introduction to this fine backup quarterback, let me remind you
Here we go.
that he broke the NCAA record for most passing touchdowns. Now, this guy, yeah, I get it. He came out of a Division II college football, which might be the reason why he broke the touchdown record. But still, he looks impressive. I've seen him. I've seen like videos on him. He actually looks pretty impressive. So don't sleep on the man.
Carson Wentz was a good Division II quarterback too. Okay.
Well, Carson Wentz was good too. Carson Wentz
Until
was good.
Until he got hurt.
Okay, well, people get hurt all the time. They don't.
So there's the introduction. There's the introduction. So and we all know who Brian Hoyer is. By the way, Brian Hoyer still sucks. Just in case anybody don't know, Brian Hoyer still sucks. So no quarterbacks in this game. So how are the Bears going to win today?
Well, Sonny, I mean, they got to do some things that really they haven't really done this year.
Yes.
And
like when?
Which is the normal formula for NFL teams, right? Get to the quarterback, protect your own, run football. And that's what they need to do. You know, and throw a little bit to DJ Moore. That would be nice. But other than that, I mean, it's simple. You got to keep Max Crosby from getting in that backfield, man, because if you allow him to be who he is, it's going to be a long day for Bajan. I don't care how many records he broke in college. If they don't protect him, if they don't keep Max Crosby from getting to him, it's going to be a long day for the
Max
Chicago
Crosby.
Bears.
Imagine you're a season ticket holder for the Bears right now, and you're sitting
line
going,
is
okay,
banged
well.
up.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, the offensive line, like I said, is banged up. We don't know who. We don't have a center that can snap the ball correctly. Right?
I know.
So
I saw.
Jesus, man! Like it's just kind of like
the basic.
How do you say it? Right. Well, basics, but it's kind of like when you want to talk about when it's bad, it's bad. Yeah, that's the Chicago Bears. So, Eberflus, you were talking about the coach.
Mm-hmm.
Of course he's on the hot seat. Here's the thing: a lot of people think that he was supposed to be the coach of the future, and he's going to be the long-term guy.
Was he there last year? I forget. Was he there last year?
Yes.
Okay, I see where maybe they're getting a little hot seat because impatience is gonna probably wear thin.
Well, it's not even that, Sonny. If you watch the damn game, as you like to say, you gotta watch the damn. And when it comes to Chicago, you watch the damn game, and
they're stagnant.
And you pay attention to some of the play calling. The defense, I got no issue with. The guy can coach defense. The defense is. I'm not saying they're playing lights out. However, they are executing their defensive game plan well enough to where they're not letting teams just do whatever they want, right? I mean, the Vikings, the reason they won that game, it wasn't because the defense gave up a bunch of yards and all that to Kirk Cousins. That scoop and score is what did him in.
Yeah.
Once that happened, that was it. It was over.
Took away from it.
Right. And so the defense is not necessarily the issue. It's the offense. It's Luke Getsy, the offensive coordinator. It's pass protection. It's the fact that Justin Fields doesn't know how to throw the damn football within 3 to 4 seconds. He wants to hold on to the ball. Maybe I could it'll just magically float out of my hands and it'll go to DJ Moore or one of the other receivers. Throw the damn ball, Justin. Jesus. That's why he's getting sacked so much.
We're strapping, we're strapping in here.
Oh my gosh.
See, those are some of the best moments when you're not expecting to strap in, and then you got to strap in. But
I know it's just unbelievable.
Just throw the damn ball, man. It drives me nuts watching him hold the ball for
he's too busy looking for an ESPN moment.
That play that he injured his thumb, he had the ball for almost 7 seconds. Guys, go back and watch that play when he hurt his thumb. He had the ball for over 6 seconds, almost 7 seconds before he actually tried to attempt to do something with the football. Now, for some people that are casual fans, you may not understand how important it is to get the ball out between 3 to 4 seconds at most.
Exactly.
Tom Brady says 2 3/4 is the max that you hold on to that football.
He would know.
And if you keep it after that, that's on the quarterback.
Well, he would know.
Yeah, but if you keep it after that, you got to be deliberate.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of him last week. Again, I didn't watch a whole lot of football, but I saw highlights of Bagent. I mean, that guy was slinging it, man. Within 2 to 3 seconds at most. And people can argue, he was just throwing to his first read. Well, you know what? It's better than what Justin Fields was doing because he wasn't even throwing to the 8th read. He was just holding on to the ball. So I'm cool with that. You want to throw it straight to your first read within 2 seconds? Go for it. And you know what? There were some plays where it actually worked. Darnell Mooney got a couple first downs. Cole Kmet getting the ball. So that's the whole point of the game, right? You gotta, you gotta matriculate down the field, boys. And that's what Tyson Bagent was doing for the Bears when he took over. So I want to see what he can do. He's been practicing with the first team all week. Of course, we all knew Fields wasn't going to play in this game.
Except for Sonny, he had no idea.
He had first team reps all week, and so it's going to be interesting to see how he can play, how he's going to look in a full game from start to finish. And I'm still not picking the Bears to win, but I do want to see what this kid's got.
All right. So that's said. Who do you have in this game? Are you going to take your Bears, or are you going to go on the other side and go with the Raiders? The Raiders.
Well, I just said I'm not picking the Bears to win.
You should really listen to your show, Sonny. Really?
He does this to me. He says he's not picking the Bears, but he just won't say the other team's name. It's just like almost every team is Green Bay now.
Oh no, I'll say it. I mean, my wife's probably gonna puke in her mouth, but the Raiders are gonna win.
Raiders gonna win. All right, so Mr. Trey Mack, Bears
real quick. Yep. This is a very unusual week in our household, guys, because we're actually rooting for each other's teams more than our own team. So, and that's sad. That comment right there. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
That's interesting.
Guess what? We've got somebody in the green room. What? So
what?
He is here. The king of the what and the best smile on the internet. I always can dig it. By the way, just in case anybody don't know, I can always dig it. I'm so glad Mr. Brights is in the room here. Oh, did I add him? Yeah, he is in there. The best smile on the internet, Bryce from Brook. Look at that. Look at that
I know
friggin'
you are.
smile.
You're making some very-
Unfriggin' believable.
Sonny,
You're making some very
Here we
rude
here we go.
Sonny,
Very
you took,
rude.
you took away the headlines.
Oh, okay. By the way, there's headlines. By the way, in case you didn't know, Bryce, take a look at Podfather's. The love affair just doesn't end.
Feelings mutual. The feelings
Exactly.
mutual.
So, yeah.
Hey, Sonny, can you switch Podfather and I's screen so that way him and Bryce could be next to each other?
I wish I could. There is a way to do it. I don't know how to do it.
Sonny, if you click on the screen, you can move them to the screen.
So I could move this guy right. Well,
Right.
there it is. I didn't. Wow,
There you go.
something so small. Aren't you guys kissing? Feel better? I don't know, but
We don't have to do that.
We have to do that. Yeah, we ain't got to do that. I'm going to pass on that.
Mr. Bryce, you did see it, right?
Oh, I know.
Next week.
It's coming.
Next week,
It's coming.
I'm pumped.
Does this mean
I'm
you're
pumped.
finally going to claim your Jaguars as your?
I don't know. I don't know. I want to see what happens with your Pittsburgh Steelers today. Wait, are they on the bye?
No,
No, they're not on the bye. They're playing. That's right. They're
over. That nonsense is over. It's time.
yeah. So now, we might as well go there. Everybody, by the way, is on the Raiders. Would you take a stab for the Chicago Bears there, Bryce, for this week?
Oh,
Don't do it, Bryce. Don't do it.
So
Justin Field, he's out. That which I didn't know. Someone told me. Somebody, little birdie told me.
If Justin Fields was playing, I'd give him a better chance. But since he is not, Cuervo, I'm sorry. I'm actually going to go with Vegas to win this game.
No need to apologize, Bryce, because I'm going with Vegas too. I don't.
This is total BS.
Yeah, it is total BS. But the only thing I am looking forward to, though, is like I mentioned right before you came in, I want to see what Tyson Bagent's got. I really do, because he could be the backup.
Might as well.
Or he could just be a guy that
another option, really.
Hey, thanks for playing. Go.
He could be a Jag. He could be a Jag, not a Jacksonville Jaguar, but just a guy.
Just a guy. We'll see.
He could be
I don't
insane.
know.
Jerry
I
Jeudy
can't
is
speak on that
according
guy
to
because
Steve
I don't
Smith.
know much about him.
So that said, Bryson, Brooklyn, we'll go to the Pittsburgh game because you are here, and which, by the way, thank you so much because I love having you on the show. So your Pittsburgh Steelers in action against the Rams. This, I knee-jerked immediately. Rams. I took 2 seconds to think about it, and I Rams. So I guess I'm going to have to ask, what's the take on that? His wife has been ripping on him. I knew I liked her for a reason. So anyway, the Rams, Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, if I'm not mistaken, as far as this game is, they are playing in LA, so they're on the road today. This is a tough one for you boys.
They are on the road today. Tough one. Interesting game. There's a lot going on with the Rams in terms of their running back situation.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, not really that strong on the edge as they've been a little bit in the past. They still have Aaron Donald, freak show on the defensive line. I mean, the guy just
big time freak show.
I mean, he just
guy's a monster.
And with the way that Mason Cole, our center, has just been terrible. He has not been good. He's not been good. They don't run things that accentuate his
Oh, that was terrible. Crazy knucklehead terrible.
Accentuate his positives. They're not running a lot of power. They're not running a lot of gap. They're trying to run a lot of zone. He can't reach guys. And then in pass protection, he's getting beat by normal dudes. Dudes swimming right over the top of him. getting pushed to the quarterback. He had a pretty good year last year. He's not been good. They're going to have to go center shopping after the season. I don't think you can make a switch now unless you go with Nick Herbig, and maybe he's the backup. Maybe you put him in. So we'll see what they do. I mean, they have been able to neutralize Aaron Donald in the past, but that's when they had Marquise Pouncey. Now,
yes.
And so that could be a problem. I like our two guards. I think they can hold up fairly well, but when you got a center, when you don't have a good center, that's going to mess up your whole line play.
I agree.
Because they can put beats in the middle of the line, guys like Donald. That guy's getting beat at the point of attack. That's tough. So that's going to be a tough thing. They've got some former Steelers playing well. It's very disappointing to see Kevin Dotson playing right guard. They've anchored him in at right guard, which the Steelers never did. They tried to play him on the left side. Look, Mike Tomlin loves position flexibility. Some guys just aren't position flexible. You have to know that and put them in a position to succeed. They've got Akello Witherspoon over there at corner. He's too inconsistent. Sometimes he'll play well, and he's in a cycle of playing well. The other times he won't play well. He was not good for Pittsburgh last year. I understand they had to let him go. So coming off a bye week with Mike Tomlin with 2 weeks to prepare, it's interesting because schematically Sean McVay is very good on offense. Tomlin has faced him before and done well defensively.
Right.
We'll see. Is Joey Porter Jr. going to play more? He's going to have to. Our corners, long guys, losing a little bit of speed that we have starters with Peterson and Levi. They're not playing well. They got to get Joey Porter Jr. out there. They got to get Darnell Washington, the tight end, more involved to block at the point of attack. I think it comes down to if the Rams can run the football. If they don't run the football and they don't try, that's going to be tough. Pittsburgh's hands. If they stay balanced and Sean McVay can coordinate that thing and put Terrell Austin in a bind, our D coordinator, and have Pittsburgh guessing, it could be a long day for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't like betting against Tomlin coming off of a bye. I don't care how bad they are, or they're not playing well. They get the extra 7 days. That's a big plus. But Cuervo, I don't know. The Rams are playing like no one really expected them to in reality, but you're getting Matthew Stafford playing well. He's fine. Hey, the return of Cooper Kupp is a big bit. Listen, that's not little. That is big because the Rams last week with Cooper Kupp back in the lineup, it almost turned into a different football team in reality from what we've seen from week 1 to week 6. So what's your take up on the Steelers and the Rams today?
Yeah, I kind of, had a knee-jerk reaction too, and at first was like, "Oh, Rams," but I kind of, I need to kind of think about this one a little more because I'm not sure that the Rams are going to be able to run the ball like Bryce was alluding to just now, and if they're not able to run the ball, then that's going to be tough. You're going to have a hard time beating the Pittsburgh Steelers if you can't run the ball. So, yeah, I just that one I'm gonna have a little more. We need to think about that one a little bit more because that kind of leads me towards picking the Steelers, but it's just and Bryce may or may not agree. I just don't know what they're doing secondary wise in Pittsburgh if they're playing at a level that they can stop the passing game of the Rams with Kupp and Pika Nakua and who's the other guy? I know they got another dude, Tutu Atwell. So are they going to be able to shut down the passing attack of the Rams? Because we all know they're going to have a hard time running the ball without Kyren Williams, and so they're probably going to abort the run game pretty fast,
right?
If you ask me. So is Pittsburgh going to be able to shut them down in the secondary? That's the question.
Well, here's the thing. Pittsburgh, they're kind of healthy. I mean, they got some questionables out on their football, but they're kind of healthy. But then again, look at the Rams. They only got one guy. It's let's see, it's Murchison's out with a knee. That's all. But Bennett, he's the backup quarterback. No one cares about him. Interesting story about him as far as that is concerned. If you want to check into it, you can. But Williams not being in the lineup because of an ankle, I think that could come into play today, as far as the running back is concerned, going into this one. So I'll go ahead. I'll throw it to Z. You're looking at this game. You're looking at Pittsburgh. I'm really interested in seeing what you think about the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Rams. What's your take?
All right, I'll be honest. I know I have one diehard Steelers fan who's been talking up the Steelers all year. This is a game
you've been doing it this whole life. What do you mean?
Yeah. Well, let's talk about both teams here. The Rams, they're okay. Here's my take, right? They won the Super Bowl last year. They ended up being trash after winning the Super Bowl. This year, they're kind of in the middle. So, depending on really how they play without their run game, this is really going to test again. Is Stafford still good? Which this season we've seen Stafford has been pretty solid. Better than last year. We'll say that.
Yes.
Better than last year. Steelers sitting second in the AFC North. I'm a pretty big believer in Kenny Pickett. I really like Kenny Pickett. I know a lot of people get mad at him because they say I have small hands, but I mean, he's got a solid team around him, and everyone's gonna talk about how Aaron Donald's gonna get to Kenny Pickett. Well, is TJ Watt out? Because if TJ Watt isn't out, TJ Watt's gonna try and get to Stafford the best he can. And I mean the secondary's okay. Minka Fitzpatrick is really good though. That's their main guy. And then you still got Cameron Hayward if he's not injured either. But yeah, it's gonna be a really good matchup. But in this case, I think it's an easy take for me to take the Steelers here. I really like the Steelers. Really like the Steelers offense. Like their defense as well. The Rams just don't know. They kind of have. I kind of see the receiving core a little bit like the Lions, I guess. You got your route runner in Cooper Kupp, and then you got your speedster in Tutu Atwell. Other than that, you don't really know a lot of guys, but I think here you take the Steelers just because they're a better football team overall right now in my eyes than the Rams.
Think about this: when the Steelers are a dog,
Z for MVP.
they are 14-7. Okay, when they're Mike Tomlin's 14-7 when they are dogs since 2001. So that's kind of something to think about. So I'll shoot it over to Trey. What's your take up on the Steelers and the Rams?
Is Matt Canada still the offensive coordinator for the Steelers?
See,
they won't fire it.
You know what, Cuervo? You know what's interesting? He butters me up with the great headline. Fan club, and then I give him a hug and I turn to the crowd, and then he hits me with a chair.
Yeah, he definitely.
Better be careful. He's gonna hit it.
Look, I honestly, this game can go either way. Okay, I mean, the Steelers, when I pick against them, they play good. When I pick them, they play bad. So I can't.
You ain't lying.
So
I know that feeling.
But having said that. Not the name of the show, by the way. The Rams need to win this game for one reason only. They got to keep up with the Niners. Okay,
good point.
They are the second best team in the West. and they have to stay in par with what the Niners. Because if the Niners fall again, they got to be one step ahead of them as best they can. And winning a game like this is crucial to a team like the Rams. I think McVay knows that. I think he's got this team ready for it because, once again, this team has won before. The Steelers have not recently. Okay? So I think, once again, it's a pick 'em for a lot of people. I know Z is very highly on the Steelers. We know Bryce is. I know a lot of people, and this can go either way. But for pick-wise only, I'm going to pick the Rams only because they have to win.
And for the love of somebody to your side there, not being me, he's got some big hope for Bryson Brooklyn. Got that heart going. Cuervo, go ahead.
I've got a question for the best smile on the internet. Do you have your towel next to you? Because I've got an idea. And I'm going to run this by Sonny after the show.
Towel is always near me, even if it's not on my shoulder.
Okay. Here's what I'd like. I have a request, Bryce. I'd like for you to grab your towel, okay? And I need you to put up 3 fingers, and then I need Sonny to capture that. So can we make that happen? Is that possible?
Absolutely, it can happen. I'm good at it.
That's on Bryce.
By the way, Z
want to do it.
First, I have to know: am I getting set up for a chair shot?
Absolutely not. This is the opposite of a chair shot. I think. You know what? I'm just going to say it right here live on the show. I would like to see Sonny, you being the main host of the show, right? Jaguar fan, president of the Jaguar fan club in the show.
No shit.
You missed this. You missed the strap in a little earlier. So
I had one. I had a small strap in on Justin Fields because he doesn't throw the damn ball.
Yeah.
But I think we need to make a segment for Bryce.
Okay.
We got to call it. We got to think of a name for it, but it's going to be the 3. The Pittsburgh Steelers victory. And he's got his towel in his hand, and then we just give Bryce the floor, man. And
absolutely, I even can do some crazy art for it too, so it could be lots of fun.
So we got to get Bryce with this towel, holding up 3 fingers, and in that way,
how good I am.
We can give Bryce the floor. You can talk about the 3 keys.
By the way,
Steelers beating the LA Goats.
Is that what they're called today? Is that what they're called? The Goats today? What are they called?
That is not what they're called today.
I can't wait to hear what he calls the Jaguars next week. That's what's going to be really.
I already got it ready.
He's not going to tell us what it is.
The Jacksonville Pussycats.
It's even better than that.
Okay.
Better than that.
The baby leopard.
It's even better. Listen. The model in which Pittsburgh is trying to win right now is not sustainable.
You're right.
Keep the game close. Get splashed from your defense. Win it at the end. Do enough to
sustainable.
That's the Parcells way. That's the Parcells way of playing.
Yeah, it's not sustainable. And let me tell you something too. Even if we go back. This idea, this is interesting because when Bill Cowher hired Ron Earhart, who was the offensive coordinator with Parcells, that offense immediately had an identity. It was pound the football. We're going to run the football. We're going to play action. We're going to have a very controlled, efficient passing game. And people can talk about Neil O'Donnell all they want to. Neil O'Donnell, for about 3 years, was a solid quarterback for Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
I agree.
Super Bowl.
Underrated for what he did with that team.
And then when Earhart, after a few years, when they hired Chan Gailey to come on that staff, coach receivers, Earhart was humble enough to integrate the 5 wides. If you remember Pittsburgh in '95 when they went to the Super Bowl, they could run it, but they were running 5 wides, throwing the football, giving people fits. So Bill Cowher was able to adjust his offense particularly when they drafted Cordell Stewart and put him at slash and started that whole thing in '95. People forget Cordell went to a Super Bowl his first year as a receiver, playing different things. So,
who'd they lose to?
Oh, shut up!
They did lose to your Cowboys. That would make you.
Hey! I will say this. Do you know why the Dallas Cowboys won that game? Because of Neil O'Donnell threw two picks to Larry Brown.
Oh yeah, you were second. They were coming back. They got the onside kick. I'm like, oh, we got him. And then Neil had another miscommunication and made Larry Brown's career. That guy was so overrated. He went to the Raiders and was getting cooked. He was
look. Larry Brown was great when Deion's on the other side. When Deion went on the other side, he's just an average cornerback.
Just horrible.
So
yeah, you did beat us there. That makes the record 2-1 against you in Super Bowl.
That's fact.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't argue that.
But
I love it.
I mean, look. So the ability to adjust offensively is important. To the Podfather's point, we still have Matt Canada. But we have TJ Watt, we have Minka. We need them to be.
How's he doing though? He's kind of banged up, isn't he?
No, he dislocated a finger. He's playing. He's got 8 sacks. I mean, TJ Watt is basically unblockable. And if he's going to have to be, because he's going to have to match Aaron Donald's production. Now, one thing the offense has been good at this year is they have actually done a good job of neutralizing some of these Planet Theory guys on defense. They haven't really wrecked the game. If you can say that's something that an offense does well, they have done that. So that's going to be a big key to the game, too. The Pittsburgh Stars are going to have to play well. Deontay Johnson's back. They're going to have to get him going as well.
Well, according to what I'm looking at, TJ Watt has a heel problem, so he's questionable for the game. So
he practiced on Friday. He's going. That's minor.
Got it. All right. So there you go. I'm going to Rams.
Hey, I have a heel problem too. People keep cheering me.
Here we go. I'm going to go Rams, and there's more in the fact that my gut says Steelers, and I just as what he said. Every time I got a gut feeling about the Steelers, they don't show up on it. So I'm literally going opposite of what I for the pick, because I want the Steelers to win. The reason why I want them to win is that AFC North just gets more tighter and tighter and tighter if they get the win today. And and listen, the AFC North is still I still think it's a juggernaut of the NFL. You never know what you're going to get out of there. And if they start improving, this is what's sneaky about the AFC North. This is week 7, week 9, 10, and 11. One of these teams who are not really expected to do what they're supposed to do, they're going to come out of the shadow, and then they're going to start moving forward and trying to move up in the standings to make a run at the playoffs. Will the Steelers still be there when that happens? Because right now, aren't they first in the division? Or no, they're second.
They're a half game out of first. Every team during the bye week in the division, we were on the bye last week, they won. So, Godfather, we also have to win today. We have to be able
to
any chance of getting this division.
And it will be in about 2 or 3 weeks. The Steelers, the Baltimore Ravens, the Cleveland Browns, or the Bengals are going to start moving up. Now, the Bengals, they traditionally do it with Joe Burrow. They start out a little slow, which they did, and they picked it up, which they are. Now, the Steelers, on the other hand, they're trying to win games because they know they're not as good as the other team. But if they can get those victories and go out and against teams that are kind of the same as they are right now, they just put themselves in a position to go there. Hey, don't sleep. As much as I hate to say it, I almost puked in my throat. Sorry about this. Watch out for the Cleveland Browns. I mean, they got a game today that's very winnable, and let's go to that game, even though Obi don't want to show up. Today.
I'll say, hey Bryce, real quickly, take a look at Sonny. What do you think about our Amish Santa?
Sonny's gonna play Amish Santa for December.
Well, I mean, don't most Santas have a mustache?
You just can't see it because of the lights.
Chair shots.
And I hate the Wilford Brimley look. It just drives me nuts.
Wait a minute, Sonny. I haven't made my pick.
Oh, okay.
That being said, I've wavered back and forth on this.
Okay.
Coming off of a bye, TJ Watt, 2 weeks to prepare, going out to LA. There's going to be a lot of Steeler fans there. I was tempted to take the Rams in this.
They did travel well.
Kello Witherspoon. I just think outside of Aaron Donald, that defense is not that great. And as bad as Matt Canada is, I see this almost like the Raider defense, where if you can neutralize Max Crosby, there are some plays to be made over there. And I also think Matt Stafford, as great as he is not mobile. And those type of quarterbacks, if we can get the pressure on him, we know we can force that guy to mistakes. I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers to actually go on the road in LA with a big Steeler contingency and get the victory.
Well, Bryce, you said the one thing that made Sonny laugh. You know what that is? That Stafford's not mobile because he'll win Super Bowls. So.
Right. That's what Sonny's going to dig down into.
I know. He hates the mobile quarterback
because he hates quarterbacks that can actually move in the pocket.
I listen. Listen. I want to go Steelers. So I'm going against it because literally almost every time I think I got a gut feeling about the Steelers, they let me down. Cuervo.
No.
What do you think about this one?
Hold on. I will concede that for the Podfather and Cuervo. There have been multiple times this week you have picked against my Steelers, and I told you to go with them. You didn't, and guess what happened? Except for San Francisco, you lost.
Yes. Last year they let me down too. Cuervo, who do you got in? Are you going to go Rams or are you going to go Steelers?
Yeah, at first, my initial thought, like you said, was Rams, right?
Bam.
But then
Rams.
But then between really looking at the roster and listening to the most intense, passionate Steeler fan I know.
Yes.
Next to me.
You're buying into it. I hear it already.
I'm gonna switch over to the Steel City. I'm gonna switch
That's
over.
what I did. That's exactly what I did. I switched right when I was on the show because I was listening to what Bryce said and
Bryce,
it let me down.
Bryce, I have to make sure. Don't take the bait that Sonny's giving you. He's buttering you up because he's gonna wait till next week. He's gonna completely bash.
He's gonna be. I know.
He's setting it up today.
I'm gonna rope the Steelers, man. I'm telling you right now.
Cuervo, he's gonna act like the biggest Jaguar fan you've ever seen. He's gonna, we're gonna come on here. He's gonna have Tom McManus on here.
Oh God,
Tom Coughlin.
The biggest ass kissing contest you've ever seen.
I didn't think about reaching out. Oh, no, Tom's mom's sick, so I don't want to bother him. But that would have been a great idea. So that would. Man, don't give me ideas here, Bryce.
Sonny, I see the phone call. Tom, listen, don't worry about your mom. She'll be all right. Look, come on the show, and I can see this happening.
Forget your mom. It's
moving your hands while you're talking to her because that's what you do.
He's gonna have Leon Searcy. He's gonna have He's gonna call Fred. He's gonna have Fred Taylor. He's gonna call.
How about the only Jaguar Hall of Famer?
He's gonna reach out to Mark Parnell and say, "Look, you're not doing much these days. Come on my show."
He's gonna
Jones-Drew, which, by the way, he's leading the country in picks. By the way, Maurice Jones-Drew, he's leading the country, in picks. Yeah. I will. Hey. All right. So I don't forget, Podfather. Who do you got in this one?
I told you.
You did. Okay. All right. The next game.
Thanks for playing.
The bleach.
No, I pick wise. I picked the Rams. I want the Steelers to win. I picked the Rams because I need to pick.
Nah, I do remember you saying something like that. All right. Fine.
Tune in, sir. I mean, come on. Adjust the beard. Get the better reception.
Hey, I got the bleach. It went to the brain. So leave me alone. So the Arizona Cardinals
Cuervo is on my
The
side.
patient shit went to his brain. How'd that happen?
All right.
Wow.
I'm going to skip
The
that
three keys
and move
brought to you by
three.
Price.
The three. Hey, I'll make it up. I'll make it even a plat. You know, just as easy. And there we go. Here, Rams for Greg Weber. Now, so now that being said, the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. This is going to be a good football game. I'm just telling you, they're just two bad football teams, and they're entertaining. And you don't know who to pick. Well, you should know who to pick, but I can't believe this. So I'm going to go on record because no one's going to believe it. I'm actually on the Seattle Seahawks today. That's how bad the Arizona Cardinals are. Okay, that's just and I feel bad because I love their quarterback right now. In fact, I wish he had more around him because I think the Arizona Cardinals would be a good football team with Dobbs at the quarterback position. If he had some actual real weapons and they didn't just piss the offseason away, not get anybody, this could have been a different look. Now, I'm not saying they'd win, 10 games, but the Arizona Cardinals with Dobbs, they actually looked good, here and there throughout the season. Imagine if they developed some. They kicked the living hell out of it.
Yeah, they suck. So yeah.
So Bryce, the Arizona Cardinals, they're this sneaky team. Okay, and so I'm going to ask you about the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks because you don't have a dog in this fight. I kind of got the Arizona Cardinals. I live there, and I hate the Seahawks. Everybody knows that. So God. I'm going to go to a neutral guy who has no love for any of them. What's your take up on this one?
These division games are tough because the Seattle Seahawks want to play a certain way, and so do the Cardinals. The Cardinals may not be great, but they play tough.
Yes.
They play physical. They come after guys. They don't play scared. Now, they may not be that good, and so that's going to, I think, make for a spicy matchup today. I like the thing with the thing with the Seahawks is that they're sneaky good in a couple ways. You don't think, Geno and all these things when it comes to passing game, but then you look up and they're making plays.
Right.
Same thing with their defense. They find a way to make plays. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this game is in, let me see here.
It's in Seattle.
It's in Seattle. So that's a true home field advantage. That crowd really gets into it. It's a great venue.
Even when they stink.
Even when they stink. I mean, again, look, Josh Dobbs kind of plays like a guy that plays with nothing to lose. James Conner, not great, but plays hard. The Cardinals are a team that, while they're not good, I've been impressed with their effort. I just think Seattle is a little bit better. And in these division games, when they're playing at home, I think they'll be able to match the Cardinals' energy. I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
I like what you said there. If you can figure out who's going to win based upon effort, the Arizona Cardinals would be undefeated. I'm telling you right now, effort-wise, obviously kicking the hell out of the Cowboys, and embarrassing them, nationally for a good long week. That was really nice.
It's not hard to embarrass that team.
Yeah, they kind of do it by themselves. But Cuervo, these division games, and this is one that is always, you just don't know who's going to win this game, even with Dobbs at the quarterback position, even with the monstrosity of the quarterback situation in Seattle. Yeah, I just said it, a monstrosity, because they're bought in on their quarterback. And listen, that was a bad buy-in. You can say whatever you want. He's just not great. So that being said, Cuervo, looking at this game, what do you got? Arizona and Seattle in Seattle.
Yeah, this one's not too tough for me. I like Seattle, and you can say what you want about Geno Smith. He works for what Seattle does, period. And that's what it's all about. I like to see a very small part of me does root for Arizona just because Josh Dobbs, University of Tennessee, all that good
Tennessee
stuff.
boy, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tennessee guy. But other than that, I mean, the Arizona's roster is just ugh. It's
blown up.
good.
It's so blown up.
So I think Seattle's going to win.
All right, Podfather, Trey Mack, what's your take on the Arizona Cardinals who beat your Cowboys soundly, by the way, and they go into this one against Seattle? I mean, who would you thought won, the Dallas Cowboys or Seattle Seahawks? If I use Z's example on how to do that, it seems like the Arizona Cardinals should be able to beat the Seahawks. Anyway, I don't know if he's frozen or he just.
No, I hear you fine. I hear you fine.
Trey, right now is Trey thinking table or ladder?
No. I'm thinking a nice pair of brass knucks right to the bleached area.
William Regal style, huh?
Yeah,
very much so. Why not?
A very underrated worker.
He's a ghost. So I'll give him that. Look, here's the thing: you can hate Seattle all you want. We can all hate their coach all we want.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing about Arizona. Yes, they did beat the shit out of the Cowboys. Yeah, I know that. I'm well aware of what happened in that game. Yeah, okay. But they haven't won since.
This is true.
And there's a reason why they haven't won.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what that reason is, but they just absolutely suck for what I can see. And Dallas went into that game completely taking for granted and lost. And at the same time, they got exposed, and the Cowboys got exposed. That's all it was. So Seattle, look, you got the 12th man up there. I don't want to believe in fairy tales like that and think that's not really something. It's a fact up there. Okay.
All right.
It's really a thing up there, and they embrace it. Unlike any other team, I mean, like you go to Soldier Field, and when you think there's a 12th man, not really, because the crowd's kind of halfway in, halfway out.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they are. Same thing with Cowboy stadiums. I mean, you can't win at the Death Star. The Cowboys can't win. So
they
I mean,
can't, yeah.
No. So give me Seattle. I think they're the better team, and they put up more wins. If you're going using Z's logic, they put up more wins than the other team. So there you go. So
I hate to admit it, I'm actually picking the freaking Seattle Seahawks. Geno Smith, God, he is so bad. But here's the thing: I'm going to come back up on this show next week. If the Arizona Cardinals beat them, I'm just gonna die laughing, and I won't have a problem admitting. Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. I won't admit that I was wrong because this is Geno Smith's style. This is a game he should win. Now, this would be my third game. I'm picking Geno Smith in the Seattle Seahawks. I'm 2-0 with him. So I'm going to pick him here today. I hope he wins just for the point. But if they lose, I'm going to laugh my ass off because it's just, it'll be Geno. If they lose this game, it'll be because Geno is Geno. And he's going to be that guy of about 3 or 4 years ago because he just can't get it out of his suit. So, I don't know that this one, it's going to be a fun game to watch. That's another thing. I love watching games that will be entertaining, and this one will be on Red Zone. So, that said, looking at the next game that I got up on board, the Los Angeles Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. I love this game. I love it because that's another division game. And, you want to talk about the Chargers letting me down last week. Playing up against this guy's friggin' team. Just made me sick. And I was really mad in the end.
This is total BS.
Through the whole game. This is a Chargers team. It's doing the same damn thing, Bryce, that they've been doing for years. Inconsistency all over the place. And they just paid their boy $250 million, and he isn't doing it. But guess who their, offensive coordinator is? Used to be the offensive coordinator for the stupid Cowboys. This is going to be a tough one in reality, Bryce, on the pick. When you're looking at this one, who do you got on it?
You know, the interesting thing about because we're talking about the Chiefs and the Chargers, correct?
Yep, Chiefs and Chargers.
Okay, just want to make sure so I can say this because it pains me to say what I'm about to say. Brian Staley is a University of Dayton guy.
He is.
Played for Dayton, played for the team. I played for the University of Dayton. It is hard for me to not want to support my UD brother.
How I hear a but or a however coming.
However, comma, he has just not pushed the right buttons to win at that team.
Absolutely.
And they find what the Chargers do. He has not stopped the bleeding in terms of the Chargers finding ways to lose football games.
Absolutely.
They find new and creative ways, despite being a talented team with a quarterback that should be maybe a little further ahead than he is.
No question.
I think because it's a division game and the Chargers are uber talented, they will always be there to make plays. I think there will always be plays to be made because they've got a lot of skill at a lot of different positions. But in the end, they just do not seem to know how to finish and win consistently. And for that reason,
how to win.
I'm going to take the Chiefs in this matchup.
Cuervo, Herbert, Mahomes. I mean, this is the game that really should be on that nighttime game. This one right here, I think you got the stars, you got everything rounds out for it. But what do you say about this one when you're looking at, obviously there are two quarterbacks on two different levels. The question is can the rest of the team of the Chargers boost him up to be on the same level as a Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, well, first of all, I completely disagree, Sonny. I think the right game is on Sunday night. But aside from that,
Monday Night Football, then
maybe Monday night, maybe. But regardless, this game is happening today, and the Chargers, I think, are a good example. It's a very good example of how important coaching is, and that's not a rip at Bryce's, Dayton brethren. I
think it is. I think it is.
But come on, I mean, we all know what we see. He's made some questionable decision making as a head coach, as the leader of that team.
Should have been fired last year.
Questionable decisions, and so as a head coach, I mean, I'm not saying he's got to be perfect because no one's perfect. However, he's got to make better decisions, man. I mean,
I agree.
Some of the things that have happened with that team should never happen, Which, by the way, I got to pat myself on the back a little bit. I actually
don't get a shoulder injury doing it.
Yeah. I actually
Sami Zayn me here, okay?
That game. Yeah, I picked the Cowboys to win that game on Monday night. So, because I know the Chargers are. I know who they are, Sonny.
I know who the Chargers are.
And who they are is a team, and they're doing it again. Another I don't want to say generation, but another talent pool that's just going to absolutely go to waste because
it's in a way a good season.
Yeah, they did it. They did it with Breeze for a little bit of time. He was there. Then they did it when Phillip Rivers was there. Now they're doing it with Justin Herbert. So this is just the Chargers being who they are. Talented team, but when it comes down to it in the clutch, they fold. They make bad decisions. They can't make plays. They'll make plays, in the first three quarters of a game, but come fourth quarter,
right?
That's when it starts to fall apart. So,
that
being said, I kind of, my gut feeling tells me there's an upset brewing here, but then I remind myself that it's the Chargers. So
it's the Chargers.
I like Kansas City, but it's going to be a very, very close game because
I think you're
right. The Chargers they play Kansas City tooth and nail when they go into Arrowhead, man. They don't.
Yep.
It's never easy. It's a never easy game for
with
the
Herbert at
for
the quarterback.
Yeah. Right. And, I mean, they could have beaten them last year. I think the Chargers could have won that game last year, but again, that pick six did them in, and that's why the Chiefs won that game. But I think it's going to be another nail biter. I think we're going to see this one on Red Zone, obviously, a lot. But I'm going to say Kansas City by 3, and that's Kansas City by 3.
Stray Mac.
Okay. Having been the former prison cell of Kellen Moore and having dealt with him, I'll say this about him. The guy can score in the red zone, whereas our current coach can't. Okay? So, the guy knew how to put points up on the board for the Cowboys. Now, did he get a little lax on his play calling? No. Oh, yeah. Sure, he's doing that with the Chargers too. This is a must-win game for the Chargers. And they got to go to Kansas City to do it, the hardest place to do it. Kansas City is not that great. They're okay. But they've got some issues this year. They've got, they've got the Taylor Swift BS going on right now that's kind of overrunning the entire town. I think in an upset, the Chargers will win tonight or today.
Wow, so you're taking the reach. Listen, sooner or later, don't you think Herbert should be able to beat him? Bryce, I mean,
no,
the last 3 or 4 games,
no.
They've been right there. I mean, do they have the capabilities to get up and over the hump here? Is this the week?
They got the players. They just don't. Yeah. They got to put it together. That's all they got to do. Put it together.
I mean, but to what the Podfather is talking about, that's the thing. Every week is the week for the Chargers because, and every week it's like they've got the players, but collectively there is something missing from that team, and I think that's going to cost Staley his job. He has not been able to come in and solidify. Personally, I think the first thing someone needs to come in and do with the Chargers is give them an offensive identity that says we're going to run the football. We're going to run the football regardless if there's 8, 9 people in the box. We don't care. And build their offense from there. And I think that will make Justin Herbert even that more dangerous. I think the Chargers, the problem with them is on offense. There is one of many problems, but I think what will help them is an identity they can lean on offense. I think they need to commit to this team is going to go through Austin Eckler and the running backs.
He has to.
Let that be an extension of the offensive line and make it that you got the franchise quarterback. Just go ahead and make that, though, the focus, and that quarterback's going to flourish even more.
I fully agree. And when and if they decide to get that identity, it has to start with whoever the hell they're going to bring in there to lead this team. And I'm talking about coaching because the things that and to a certain point, there's a problem with the football team, and it's they spend money on 2 guys, right? They got money in 2 guys vested, one on the offensive side, one on the defensive side. They need to invest more and bring in guys that are going to make plays. Now, that will have to come in with whoever bring to coach this football team. That's the problem. It's the stability at the coaching position that is stopping the Chargers from being as good as they can possibly go. And this goes back not just last year, but years and years. Go back to Jordan. Go back to Rivers. Go ahead.
How many yards did the Chargers gain against the Cowboys last week?
Say again?
How many yards did the Chargers gain up against the Cowboys last week?
Many.
Do you any idea of a number?
No, why would I know?
No.
I can't even remember my name. I'm not going to remember a damn number from the Chargers playing like they suck.
Look, all I'm saying is that they found ways to move the ball against that defense. And that's kind of hard to do. Now,
wait, what? Whoa! Are you trying to say
people talking too loud? What
against that defense? Is that what you're saying? Well, listen, the Dallas Cowboys defense is not great. They should have been able to run over them all
they're
day
very
long,
good.
and I don't know if they did. I'll look at the numbers, but don't fall in love with your Dallas Cowboys being one of the
Don't
best.
fall in love with your Jaguars
in the
either,
NFL.
pal.
They don't. They don't have the great defense everybody's talking about.
All right. I'm just saying, Dallas' defense has shut down a lot more than you're giving them credit for. That's fine. You have a bias. I understand that. But I'm just saying the Chargers were able to move the ball against that defense pretty well. Yeah. Austin Eckler got some yardage. They're able to move the ball a little bit further down the field than they could do before he got back there. So I think that's going to be a big, like Bryce said, they need identity. There's their identity. They need to utilize it and utilize it a lot more than they have been. And I think the Chiefs will be the prime example for that because the Chiefs are expecting the big throws. They're not expecting the underneath. Mm-hmm. So I think that will really benefit for the Chargers if they play that way. Now, once again, they're in Kansas City, and strange things happen in Kansas City. So, but I do want to go there to get some barbecue one day. Look, I gotta go. I got stuff to do. So
yeah,
boys,
get to work.
Bryce, my brother. Got you.
Always good to see you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Cuervo, congratulations to you. You really outkicked your coverage on your wife, sir. So good luck with that.
Got some smooching going on real bad here.
Sonny, Mr. Almer Santa, go to hell.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Yeah. Up yours too. Thank you very much. And we the love we get here. So I listen. I think the Chargers. Really, their identity is what is missing. It's not on the field, even though they got some good pieces. They need leadership, and that comes from coaching. And because the coaching needs to teach Justin Herbert to take over that offense and be the leader on the field. And right now, we're not getting Justin Herbert as the leader on the field for that football team. And when you're paying them $250 million, he has to be. They need to turn that around. At least that's what I think when I take a look at it. So that being said, of course, that's the name of the show. Green Bay and Denver. Now, as much as I would love to say that the Denver Broncos should be able to walk all over this, team, we're just not getting it. My brother and I, we were kind of briefly talking about the fact that, oh my God, you got supposed superstars just not showing up week in and week out, whether it's the coaching or whether it's the quarterback position. The defense seems to be manageable. I think the defense could be manageable. They're just not getting any damn offense out on the football field. And I don't see how that changes this week, Bryce. I mean, going here, but although I want to pick the Denver Broncos this week. And I think it's because they can stop a football team. The question is, sooner or later, that offense is going to have to show up, and I don't know if it will. So is Russell Wilson finally done? Can we say he's washed up?
Russell Wilson in that team actually is not their main problem. Their main problem is they don't stop anybody.
Well, that is a problem.
Their defense is not – their defense is a problem. The lovely Carla is not going to want to hear this. If she is still listening, she is not going to want to hear this. I do not like the job that Sean Payton has done so far.
Fully agree.
And I'll tell you right now, not to cut you off, Bryce, she would absolutely 1,000% agree with you. She's not a fan of Sean Payton right now.
I'm not. I think there is too much bluster. I think there's he's gotten into this what we'll call almost pissing match where he's almost on this fake Parcells type of thing where I need to come in and establish myself and my type of team and my type of culture. And what it's done is he comes across as he doesn't take accountability for how that team is now. Like it comes across as it's really the other guys going on, and I just got to have time to implement my stuff, and we'll be good.
You mean find blame outside of himself is what it kind of sounds like you're saying.
He's not coming across as a strong leader in that team, and I think it's very easy because Russell, to me, is a passive type of person, so it's easy to kind of push it off and make it about him. And about what he's not doing, because he's not going to push back on you that much.
Right.
I think he's going to like for all of the drama that comes with Russell and him wanting his own room and special treatment, I think a lot of that comes from the fact that Russell was not a confrontational person. I think someone like Sean Payton that's being openly confrontational, Russell's always going to try to be the nice guy. But it really lets me think that he's almost skirting accountability. I don't hear enough, this is on me. I haven't been good enough for this team. I don't hear enough of that from Sean Payton. And that kind of bothers me. Whereas when I look at the Green Bay Packers, as much as the fine co-host of this show is not going to want to hear this, I see Jordan Love steadily figuring it out. And
I do too.
I see a team that with Watson and that just quietly it's not great, but is quietly competitive and is not going to lay down and is playing the right way. I have questions about their head coach. But I think the players in and of themselves play with a certain level of freedom. And I think Jordan Love is starting to find his way. And I think it's enough to beat Carlos Broncos. And the misery continues in Denver. Sonny, look at him.
I know he is so wound up right now.
He reminds me a little bit, and I don't mean this as slander. He reminds me of the Bengals and the Browns fans that just, Ben's retired and the Steelers are going to go into a hole and we finally got it. We got Burrow, Deshaun's coming. It's going to be over for the Steelers, and yet we just keep hanging around. We just keep finding some type of way, even despite our warts. That's where Cuervo's looking at his rival Packers. Like, why won't you just die and go away?
Yeah, no kidding.
That's probably more of it.
You know what, Tony? Rams by 50, all right? There, I said it. Rams by 50, damn it. You want to play that game with me, Bryce? Rams by 50.
I saw the look on your face, Cuervo. I knew what that look was. I've seen it.
And fire the Chargers coach now. Fire him during the game.
No,
I've seen it in our rivals. They have the same look, but somehow these legacy teams just won't die.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I just want the Packers to just go away. They're like the annoying, little cousin or something that just always wanted to hang around you, and you're just like, get away, man. Like we'll play later or something, but that's what the Packers are.
Well, the interesting thing about what you said, Bryce, and I wrote this down because I thought it was interesting. It's actually, when you look at it, what you were talking about, it's old school against new school. I mean, when you look at Sean Payton, he's old school all day long, right? I mean, and the fact that you look at Russell Wilson, he is on that. He was kind of like the start of new school at the quarterback position, getting a lot of things to say about what was going on. I mean, look at his coach when he was in Seattle. He's a defensive coach. He's not the offensive mind that's going on. There was more stuff that he was putting in. And right now you got old school battling new school, and even though it's not public, they're getting into some rip-roaring arguments and fights behind closed doors about what's going on. By the way, if there's not some rip-roaring fights going on behind closed doors, that football team needs to retire everybody on the football team. They should all be pissed off at each and every one of them by not having the accountability from top to bottom. That includes the coaches down to the freaking kicker who can't make a kick sometimes. It's just really aggravating when you watch that. But this game, when you were looking at it, and I was looking at it, when teams go into Denver, they can't handle the altitude. Okay. And we used to get that with the Denver of old. We're not getting that. So was that a farce, or were they just that good at that time? I don't know. But when you look at this game going into, I ask myself, how do the Broncos win this football game? Because they haven't shown anything that they have any kind of, chemistry whatsoever, team chemistry. It's always singled out. And when you can't put it together, find the guys to get the ball to. Russell Wilson, listen, he has been playing, and oh God, I'm going to say this and you're going to laugh at me. Bryce, you're going to love this. Russell Wilson's been playing like Jimmy Garoppolo, and that has not been good. That has not been good. And I got some mad for Jimmy Garoppolo, but he has been playing like dog crap, and Russell Wilson is right there with him. These are two guys that you could have considered two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL at one time. Not right. But they were right there on the top. You're talking within the top 10. You had both of those guys. One might have been higher. That had been Russell Wilson. But, man, he has just turned into – I used to say this guy didn't forget how to play quarterback. This guy has forgotten how to play quarterback because there's something that is going on. He's either not getting it across, in practice or with his coaches or whatever. I expect Russell Wilson to throw probably 2 or 3 interceptions today against the defense that I think is okay, but has not been playing all round. I think they just get the team that happens. I don't know. This one's going to be good. Green Bay. I think I'm just going to hang out with what you said, Bryce. I like Jordan Love. I've always liked Jordan Love. I always like the fact that he just kept it real, right? He kept it real as the backup quarterback. And when you put me in, you put me in. He didn't give Aaron Rodgers any problems. Aaron Rodgers was that problem in reality. And Cuervo's looking at me like I just did some Quaaludes. What the hell? What'd I say? What
do we need to strap in? Do we need to strap in? Is it about to be? No.
Do I need to get drug tested on something?
Should we strap in?
The resignation is coming soon. You like Jordan Love? Okay, all right. You're entitled to like whoever you want, Sonny. You're entitled.
Hey, Bryce said it too. Don't forget him.
I didn't say it quite like you did.
Oh, okay.
I said, I respect Jordan Love. I think he just keeps coming. He's like that.
Okay.
I didn't know you liked Jordan Love. I do
like it. I do like Jordan Love. I do like it because he is a man. He took it. Just as much as Aaron Rodgers took it from Brett Favre. Brett Favre said, "Hey, forget you. I ain't teaching you how to take my job." So.
Cuervo, if you need to go ahead and let it all out, I'm strapped in and ready.
Go ahead, Cuervo. I left the door open for. By the way, no wider door.
It don't surprise me. Sonny is such a farce. He tries to trick me into thinking he's this big Bears fan. Oh, I lived in Illinois for like a couple of division. Years. But then we always talk Green Bay Packers. Oh, I love the Green Bay Packers. Oh, Jordan Love is so great. Oh, he's so good. They're today. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're new school. Oh my God, LaFleur is great. That's who Sonny Clark is. That right there. See, it warms his heart to hear me mock him when he talks about the Green Bay Packers because that's who he really is. He ain't no Bear fan. He's a Packer lover. He's a Jaguar fan.
Cuervo, you actually would fall for thinking that guy's a Bear fan? He doesn't miss any opportunity to roast your Bears.
I know he doesn't.
Wait. Who roasts the Jaguars more than anybody on this panel? Who roasts the Jaguars more? Okay, I roast when I think they need to be roasted, and I even did it with your boy Mike Tomlin a couple of years back. So so I am an equal opportunity roaster. I'll roast whenever I think it needs to happen, and just as much as if you remember the last one, I was talking about a quarterback of the Bears, and we haven't seen much. Difference.
Here we go.
And what? I don't know.
Let me guess. It's because they have a running quarterback, right? Right? Is that why? Yeah, that's why. What do you think Jordan Love is, Sonny? What's Jordan Love?
Oh, Jordan Love. All right. When's the last time Jordan Love had 100 yards rushing? I'll wait.
That doesn't make him a running quarterback.
No. There's listen. Jordan Love is wait, maybe I have to watch the damn game. Maybe I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But here,
Oh, Jesus, Greg, let it go. I don't give a crap anymore about Mahomes not being drafted.
oh Lord,
I don't care about that anymore.
God, I
He brings
love
up
it when
the
they.
same stuff every time.
Oh, by the way, Greg Weber, one of my all-time favorites. He's gonna hate me, but all right, back to this one. Green Bay. Who you got, Bryce? Green Bay, and because
I got as much as I hate to upset the fine co-host of this show. I've got to pick Green Bay.
I got. Listen, so Cuervo, are you going? Hold it. He won't say their name. He'll just say that the team won't win if it's against Green Bay. So what's going on in as far as this game is concerned, Cuervo?
Yeah. I just so let me we don't need to strap in, but I do have some things I want to get off my chest about the Denver Broncos, right? Because I gotta speak on my wife's behalf. Because
his wife's been roasting him the whole game,
so
the whole show. So
So like Bryce said, and like I told Bryce, she's on board with you. She doesn't like Sean Payton. All right. She doesn't see the big hype about him. Because her thing is like, well, what did the Saints do the last few years that he was the head coach? It kind of went like this when it came to the Saints in Sean Payton's last years. So when they did the hire, they got the trade done, and then they got Sean Payton, and she's like, okay, well, he didn't really do much in New Orleans his last few years. Well, I think the first mistake that the Broncos made, okay, it wasn't necessarily Sean Payton himself, but I think everything that came after that. So I think I can, I'm no expert, but I might be able to speak a little bit about what leadership is about. So I think making anything public about what Sean Payton was doing to change the culture in Denver should have never gotten to the media. Anything that he changed culture-wise, accountability-wise, how he's going to help Russell get back on his game, that should have all stayed in-house. Don't make any of that public. But the media, they're freaking sharks with blood in the water. They will find anything to report on, and they will go with it. And that's and I think some of the comments that Sean has made doesn't help. And I think that's where it starts to veer off. Whatever you're doing to change that team, keep it to yourself. Don't give the media anything to talk about, because everybody's they're gonna twist it in their own way, and sometimes it causes knee-jerk reactions to how teams how they conduct business. So I think that's what you're getting with Denver. I think Sean Payton, I think he's a guy that can still get this team right. I just think they need a new defensive coordinator. Vance Joseph ain't the guy. Because once Vic Fangio left, that defense went to crap. Absolute crap.
Just really quick to ask about that, Cuervo, is a little bit of it because they can't freaking sustain the offensive drive. They're out on the field for friggin' ever, and they're dead. I mean, they're friggin' dead. I mean, Russell Wilson's 3 and outs are the highest that is of his career, by the way. I heard that. I didn't look it up. I just heard someone say who's got quote unquote authority. When you can't sustain drives and keep your defense off the field, they can't stop anybody. They're dead tired. Is that or is it the old school? Shouldn't he know better by calling those guys out and how he's going to do? Is that the old school method? They always called people out. Now we don't call them out because it's the new school, and they get their feelings hurt really well, and you just can't do it anymore.
Listen, Sonny, it's not about feelings. All right? It has nothing to do with that. It should never happen. It's not about old school, new school. They used to
do it all the time, right?
Who?
Well, how about your boy Peyton getting it from the head coach? You know, one of the biggest sound bites ever. Playoffs? Playoffs? I just hope we can win again. I mean, they used to do this. I mean, Mike Ditka would call anybody out. I mean, your guy, he'd call them out. Now you can't call them out any day, or say I'm going to go ahead and change. The old school versus new school, I think, is a big effect. I think it's a big effect within what's going on there. But whether or not, we always say this, Bryce, if you're going to be good at what you do, as far as coaching, you've got to be able to have someone buy into what you're selling. And right now, we're not getting that in reality when you take a look at the Denver Broncos. I would think.
Yeah, I got to get out. I got to get out of here, guys. But I will leave you with this. Look, you can call players out. Mike Tomlin calls players out.
Yes,
but there's a way you have to do it, and you have to earn the right. You just don't show up with the resume like, oh, I'm from the Bill Parcells tree, and everyone's going to buy in and listen. And he has not gotten whatever buttons he's pushed. He has not gotten the right type of buy-in. Now it's still early. We'll see. I don't think Russ is the main problem there, but I think he's got to do. Sean Payton's got to do more to ingratiate himself with that team and take more ownership and responsibility for the issues that they're having.
It could be. Real quick, let me get Miami and Philadelphia. It's just a big game. What do you think about that? Who you got?
I got Philly. I think Mike McDaniel I think he's labeled as a wonder kid. He knows offense, but a head coach has to coach special teams and defense. And I just think the Eagles are going to run right over them.
Wow.
I don't believe
over them. Wow.
I don't believe in the Dolphins defense. I don't think it's a physical defense. I don't think there's anyone on their defense I'm looking at like that dude right there, like a TJ Watt or Minkah Patrick or even for the Jaguars.
I used to have him.
Even for the Jaguars, a Josh Allen. A guy that you're just like, that dude.
He's a stud.
I don't think the Eagles are going to be intimidated at all. I think this plays right into what you want to do, which is against Miami, ball control, possession, finish drives, score points, and keep them off the field. The Eagles are going to punch them right in the face.
Wow.
The Miami Dolphins, I don't know if they have the horses to respond to that type of physical football.
Love it. Thank you, obviously, and spend a little extra time with us. I recognized it.
Sorry, I love this. I love coming on this show. Love the work you and Cuervo do. You know I always love talking to you guys, and I will look forward to speaking with you next week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because
next week. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah, baby. Yeah. I'm waiting. I can't wait. Always good to see you, Bryce, in Brooklyn. I hope you have a great day, and thanks for joining us, and enjoy the football.
Three keys.
The three keys. Three keys. Now, that said, Cuervo, I didn't get your giant the Green Bay pick and the Denver Broncos. Who's your actual pick?
My actual pick. Yeah, I really hope that Denver plays an inspiring defensive game today. I just don't see it happening. I love my wife to pieces. I just don't see her team winning today. I can't see it happening.
So the Broncos are going to lose. He won't even say it. He just doesn't have it in him to say the Packers are going to win. That's why I love Cuervo. He stands on what he stands on. You got to love it.
You're never going to hear those words come out of my mouth that team is going to win. I'd rather say the other team is going to lose.
I know. I
don't care how childish it sounds or how dumb. That's just who I am. All right. But
right.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a very unusual week. My wife and I are cheering for each other's teams more than our own. So
there you go.
See what happens.
Hey, now Greg Weber's team. He's got it. This is a tough game. You heard what Bryce said, and the only thing I'll say to what Bryce said, he just had to go, or I would have told him. When you're scoring as many points, you can make up for the fact that your defense is not all that good. Meaning, when you score a lot compared to some of the teams that don't go out and score, yeah, your defense might be a problem, but if you get more opportunities on the offensive side of the ball, I as much and listen, I think Philadelphia is a good football team. The only thing is they lost a lot in this offseason, and it's showing, by the way. But they've been winning games, which is fantastic. They just lost last week. I mean, so they're not a slouch, but they are definitely missing those guys they lost. And Miami is just a different football team compared to many teams that they play. I don't think, and as much, and Greg is right there, but I don't think the Eagles are geared to beat a team like Miami. I thought this one was so easy. I'm an idiot, and admitted idiot. Cuervo, I didn't think 2 seconds. And it's not because I don't think that the Eagles are a good football team. There's just too much offense heading their way, regardless how good their defense is.
Well, I get what you're saying, Sonny. I mean, it's easy to be enamored with what Miami's doing offensively.
Yes.
Because I mean, hell, they put up 70 points on a team this year.
Yeah, they put up a 70 burger. No one's done that since the 60s.
No, that's longer than that.
Oh, 67. Or 66. It was the year before I was born.
Yeah, maybe something like that. I can't remember exactly, but I know it's been a long time. Let's just say that it's been a long time. But I think we need to really come to reality on how this game is going to play out. Now, I don't know necessarily that Philly's going to punch them in the mouth. I think they will, not in the sense of they're going to blow them out, but I do think Miami is going to have. They're going to have to adjust the most that they ever have in a game, and because I think what it is Miami. There's certain things that the Dolphins do that a team hasn't been able to stop yet. So they're like, we're going to keep doing this, right? Whether it's running the ball against Denver or whether it's letting Tua air it out from highlights that I saw last week against the Giants. Yeah, because Tyreek Hill had his way against that Giants defense.
Without question.
That ain't happening today. I'm telling you right now. Tyreek Hill, I love Tyreek Hill, but he's not having his way against the Eagle defense. It's just not going to happen. So that being said, McDaniel's going to have to really have, obviously your obvious game plan. He's going to have some contingency, some backup plans, some adjustments that he can go to, because if you think you're gonna just keep trying to do the same thing, and it'll eventually work. Just give it some time. It'll eventually. Not against that defense, no sir, not gonna happen. So we'll see how well McDaniels can coach today. See how well he can adjust to certain things happening in the game. In-game adjustments is going to be
big.
That is going to be the key tonight for both of these teams. I'm not dismissing Sirianni. I'm not saying he doesn't have to do it. I'm just saying for everybody that's in love with McDaniel and the Dolphins and all that hey, it's hard not to. But Miami's been able to play teams where they just there's something that they find and they just keep drilling those defenses. And that's why they've been so successful. This Eagles defense is different, man. They're different.
It is different. But along that line of what you just said, Cuervo, that's exactly my thinking. I know. Listen, I'm an idiot, and we all know this, but I know that the Philadelphia Eagles have a good defense. I know this. I mean, I watched the damn game. But sooner or later, I just kind of wonder, will that offense, as much as they keep drilling, just like you just said, keep drilling, will they break it? And that's where I think I'm going to go with it and hang out with the idea of that. I think they're going to win. Listen, this game here, it just goes to show that, offense, everybody talks about you have to have the offense to win. They got it. The defense is lacking a little bit, but that's where the offense comes in over and saves them. Let's be honest. You don't have to score 70 to win in the NFL. They did. They've been close. But here's the thing: Tyreek is going to get his, and I can't. Well, I can't stand Tyreek Hill, but this guy's going to get it. He's going to get his. It's what are the others going to get, and that's going to be the difference in the game, I think. And I think Tua, as much as everybody thinks I hate him, no, I don't hate Tua. I just didn't like the way he got that job when they were 3-3 on their way to the playoffs, and all of a sudden the supposed savior comes in. That being said, Tua, you have to look as an MVP candidate right now, just like you did last year before he got hurt. So whatever they're doing it right. Yeah. It's a little bit different look, but they are getting the job done. And I don't know. And the Eagles have struggled scoring this year, against good football teams. So, and if memory serves me right, and I might be proven wrong on that statement, but as far as I remember, they're just struggling to score. Stay out on the football field. 3 and outs, I think, are up there a little bit, and I might be wrong about that, but they're not sustaining a lot of drives like they did last year. And I think a lot of that comes from what they lost in the off season as well, Cuervo. So it's just, I'm going to go Miami in this one. I think it's going to be a great game. I didn't watch Sunday Night Football last week. I forgot who was playing, but it turned out to be a good game, but I thought that would be, but I'm going to watch this one. This one should be good. Monday Night Football, I don't think there's too much to talk about. That's why I just, shot at it. Monday Night Football, the 49ers are taking on the Vikings. As much as I love to see the Vikings win this game, I don't know how they do it. What do you think?
No Jefferson. Kirk Cousins is looking shaky. I think the Niners win.
He's that dude is banged up, man.
Yeah. Well, mentally and physically, right? I mean, Kirk Cousins. I like him, but he's a mess right now. But
I agree.
Listen, Sonny, it's going to be a fireworks type game. There's going to be fireworks blowing everywhere. But games in Philadelphia. It's Sunday Night Football. The Vince Papalis are coming out tonight.
That was someone, boy.
Greg was waiting. I know Greg was waiting that. So I know Greg was waiting for me to bring that up. So
absolutely.
I'm speaking on his behalf. When I say the Eagles are gonna take it, and they're gonna do it in style with those Papali uniforms.
I wish I don't know. Maybe I'm just too enamored with what I am seeing as far as the Eagles are concerned. So say it again. There you go.
This is by far the best defense they're going to play. Man.
Yeah, I agree. And how they line up, you can probably see how they're going to end up playing this season. The Miami Dolphins against this defense, how they measure up. And then you'll see where the Dolphins might be as long as they stay healthy with Tua. That's always the question, whether or not he's going to get popped in the head again. So you got to watch out for that one. So, all right. So that does it. This one was fun. 3 hours. We had Z, we had Bryce, we had Podfather. Oh, man, what a great show. And we just ran through it. The misfits that are out here, but they come. Say again.
All hands were on deck today.
Absolutely.
Were on deck today.
Are you going to watch games today, or are you going to be pulled in different directions?
Oh no, I'm here. I'm watching.
Awesome.
I'm watching. I got the Bears going on right now, showing the future franchise quarterback, Tyson Bagent. Yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah, you need to be his agent. So that'd be good. So there you go. All right, so that's going to do us for us on the Couch Potato Sports Show. Join us next week, week 8 of the NFL. Enjoy the games that are coming your way. They are going to be good and very entertaining. So for Cuervo, the fine co-host of this program. I am Sonny Clark, the hardest working man in sports radio. We're out of here, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.